Me and Matt just got into a huge fight before we started recording.
Were you recording?
No. Matt almost just walked off the podcast.
I did not walk off, but
he
I
almost just left because my wife spent good money on this Elf on the Shelf costume for Matt Cox,
which I told you I wasn't going to wear.
No, you didn't.
I did when you said it. I said I'm not wearing it. Do you want me to find the text where I said I'm not wearing it?
No.
Okay.
But you walked in here and I gave him your Elf. I gave you your Elf on the Shelf outfit.
Hold on.
What are you doing?
Are we broadcasting our interviews in 4K or 1080p?
I love how you do this
YouTube.
on the podcast.
I know, right?
It's fine. They don't care. This is going to go on your Patreon anyway. I know it is.
And we just...
Every time I come, I'm like, you get me a come, and I think, oh great, I'm going to be on Danny's podcast, and then a week later, I'm like, hey, or 2 weeks later, what happened?
The last one I was afraid we were going to get sued by Garth Brooks.
I mean, Johnny Mitchell hasn't been sued yet.
Well, I haven't either because we put you on the Best Of channel and I got 1 million views.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's right.
I had so many people text me after that.
Like 51 minutes, right? It was like 50 minutes. Just you guys took that one portion.
Well, what we did was our editor, he combines all like the best moments of the podcast and he condenses them into 1 hour.
Okay.
And I had so many people text me about that podcast, like, bro, Garth. I even had a guy who knows Garth Brooks.
Really?
He's like, for real? Is this true? Not like friends.
I know, but what's wrong with people? What is wrong with you? That's because I got text messages, and not text. I'm sorry, I got emails, like not a lot, maybe 2 or 3 emails where people are saying, we need to talk. This is I have information for you. And I'm like, come on, man, stop. Is that like, this is satire? This is, you look, half of the people are mocking, are mocking because they realize it's satire and they're like, this is super stupid, or they're saying it's funny. And then every once in a while, there's 10% in there that go, oh my God, no wonder I knew something was wrong with him.
Yeah.
And you're like, are you insane?
You want to wear your headphones?
I mean, you
got your hat. You don't have to wear them, I guess.
Yeah, it's insanity. People are nuts. Like, there's no way you could possibly believe that.
People will believe anything on the internet these days.
That is true. They think you're an authority simply because you have a YouTube channel, which they could pull off with their iPhone.
Yeah. It's getting out of hand. It really is. I think it's becoming a problem. And I'm definitely part of that problem.
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was like, you're a big part of it. You got guys talking about.
The problem is some of this stuff's so fun to talk about.
It is, but I mean, when you're doing your podcast and some guy tells you that the pyramids were built because they're batteries, they're used as batteries to supercharge UFOs. You never break. You the whole time, like, how long have you known this? Have you spoken with the CIA? I'm like, I can't even watch this. I'm like, how is he not breaking?
First of all, he didn't say it was a battery. Chris Dunn is a former aerospace engineer. Okay, and he wrote a book, which is I'm using 2 fingers, hypothesis. To reverse engineer, because there are explainable things about the pyramid. Have you seen the interior diagram of the pyramid?
I understand you want to continue to get guessed, and I get what you're doing.
No, listen. No, that's a legitimate question.
Like, I have to take this serious. Okay. I still need to guess.
Okay, so you think the pyramid was a tomb? You're agreeing with the conventional?
Yes.
Okay,
yes. It's
a tomb. Okay, then why does it have all these little weird shafts that go up and down and chambers with giant granite boxes that wouldn't even fit in those chambers and 10-ton chunks of granite that are stacked up inside these things? And it's evident that it wasn't made for human beings to get through that place. And there's like underground chamber that anyone who is like over 120 pounds can't even get through, that goes down like 100 feet under the ground. Why all that for a tomb? That doesn't make sense. I think it's reasonable to ask questions about that kind of stuff.
That's reasonable, but I don't think that they're, I disagree with the
You don't
theory
think that it
batteries.
was a solid state electricity machine to provide free energy to the advanced civilization that lived in Egypt during the time?
No, I don't. I want to believe you, but
I want to believe it too.
It's a lot of fun.
It is a ton of fun.
There's a lot of fun, concepts. But listen, I have a friend named.
Okay, well, look, the opposite point to that is Zahi Hawass, who is the Minister of Antiquities in Egypt. And he is the one who is the guardian of the history of Egypt. And did you see his podcast with Joe Rogan? It was the worst podcast of all time. The guy was sitting there smoking a cigar saying that he invented everything.
Invented? What do you mean invented?
Like he
made it up?
He discovered everything.
Oh,
like
okay.
Everything that's ever been discovered in Egypt. Okay. He talks about he is the one who discovered it. And he was like, it was just the worst conversation ever. And the dude had no rational arguments for any of the things that Joe had to say. So like that's who you're arguing against. Just because the other stuff sounds so crazy doesn't mean it's like ultimately dismissible. It's a hard thing to navigate. But there is some legitimate questions about that stuff, especially the ancient Egypt stuff.
I just feel like a good portion of your subscribers or viewers believe that the Earth is flat. I'm just saying
they don't. How dare you say that about my subscribers? They don't believe that.
I think some of them do.
Look, the difference between me and you is I don't loathe my own subscribers.
I don't loathe my subscribers. I love my subscribers.
I love my viewers. Okay, and I don't disrespect their intelligence like that.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. So, what are we talking about?
So, before we started this, me and Matt got into a huge fight. And he almost stormed off the set.
It was an argument, wasn't a fight.
And he refused. My wife spent good money on this Elf on the Shelf costume.
It's a 1999
Because you are the Elf on the Shelf. This is our inaugural Christmas episode where you're the Elf on the Shelf. And last year, I think with the title of the episode for last Christmas was like Elf on the Shelf describes the New York City or the New Jersey drones.
Santa's little helper.
Santa's little helper. That's what we called you.
I didn't even know that.
You refused to put on the costume.
No, come on, it's too much. It's enough already. I got the hat. I would have worn a red shirt if you'd said wear a red shirt.
So
or something.
I put it on. So long story short, I'm the Elf on the Shelf today because you refused to wear the costume.
And then Danny took his shirt off and clearly been working out.
And your wife complimented me.
I took a picture of him. My wife said, "Has Danny been working out?" I was like, "We're gonna have a talk about that when I get home.
Maybe when I get a yacht."
Yeah, she'll be the captain of your yacht.
How's that go? Your wife is what does she do? She's the below deck for like the billionaire yachts, right?
She's got her captain's license.
Oh, so, now she's the captain of the yachts? How big are these yachts she's driving?
No, she hasn't done. So she'll take them out, right? And she can, whatever they call it, steer them, captain them, run them. I don't know what they call it, but it's the leaving port and getting to port. Like these things are worth. These are $15, $20 million, and more vessels. So she works for a yacht management company. And so she goes out with them, but she does lots of different things. She does maintenance. She's a stew if they need one, or she'll be like
stew.
Like a stewardess. They don't call them stewardess.
Oh, okay.
They call them stews. So, because these people that own the yachts, so one, they lease them out, of course, or they take their family out and they'll go down to the Keys or go wherever they're going to go. They'll go to Jamaica, whatever. And they'll have to have stews go with them because they're like whatever they're the waitresses, waiters. They do all the running around so that these people can just basically lounge. And so she'll do that. She'll do maintenance. Today she was running maintenance. She dropped something in the water, and they had to call a scuba diver.
Whoa.
I don't think she dropped it. She said she didn't drop it. She said that the bolt had come off and that when she removed something, she said it fell. She said, but the bolt had already come off. It wasn't my fault. Whatever. And so they have to call it. And this happens a lot. Like they'll go out and they'll work on stuff, but something falls in the water and they'll have to call they're scuba divers, and they'll come out and they'll go down, they'll find it and come back. And
I saw a video on TikTok. There's a guy on TikTok who does this. Like this is his job. He scuba dives under docks for people who lose their shit.
Yeah, people lose stuff. There was a video. Cell phone.
There was a video of this guy. He was picking up a pair of sunglasses. It was a pair of like not that expensive sunglasses.
Yeah. She just dropped her cell phone one time. It was like 20 feet down. She swam down 20 feet, and basically she said,
herself.
She's like, I literally just went, searched around until she found her phone, and then came back up.
With no goggles or anything, no mask?
No, nothing. But this was
she's hardcore.
We'll go. Have you ever been scalloping?
I've been scalloping,
yeah. You can see down there. You can see.
Not with no goggles. Sometimes those docks can be pretty. The water can be pretty murky and muddy.
Maybe she did have like a mask or something. I don't know. I didn't ask.
Depends where she is. If she's in the Bahamas, then that's easy. But you said she had her eyes closed and she was just feeling around. So
well, no, I think she said she couldn't see. So wherever it was, it wasn't the good water out. It was kind of murky. I think she said you couldn't even see down there.
That's sketchy.
So yeah,
there's
but
some
she
big
said
barracudas that hang out under those docks, depending on where you are.
Well, my money's on her. She's pretty tough.
She is rugged. She's industrial strength.
Yeah.
So,
did you see my Jeep?
The FJ Cruiser?
Yeah. It's got.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's got a lift kit. It's got 35s on it. It's got. She has replaced the.
Oh, she did it all.
She's replaced the windows, all the lights on the whole thing. She's rebuilding the whole thing. And this is just kind of like what she's doing on her spare time. You know, when you get in your car and you have the computer. You get in with your cell phone, it connects automatically to your.
Right.
She pulled out the dash and put in an aftermarket computer. So when I get in my car, all my CarPlay comes up, everything. It's like a brand new car. This is a 2007 vehicle.
She installed all this shit herself?
It's amazing.
Wow.
She didn't do the lift kit. She didn't put on the lift kit. That's the only thing. Everything else she did.
Did she put in a Dell computer?
No, but she. What does she want? We have to replace the frame. Because it's got rust. Like I got this thing for like $5,000, $6,000, something.
Wow.
I mean, it's bad.
So
That's
just like a fun
basically the
project?
car.
Yeah,
Replacing the frame?
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. They lift it's only a few bolts, and they lift the body off. They pull off she explained it. She goes, it's really not that bad. You can basically do it in a day. She says, it's not going to be that hard. But she can't do it. We got somebody who's going to do it. But yeah, we have to replace the bushings. There's like 6 bushings. She knows all about it. We'll see.
Why don't you just buy a new car? You can afford it. You sold
Because I wanted
50,000 Garth Brooks books?
I didn't.
I can't believe he hasn't sued
I didn't
you
say
yet.
that's not what I sold. It's probably maybe $20,000 or $30,000 worth of books, but why? I don't want a car payment, and I want to fix it up. I want to do what I want to do with the vehicle and have it all paid for and have a vehicle, and it's fun.
The Garth Brooks thing is wild. You think there's absolutely no chance?
There's no. What did we? No.
No, huh?
No. But listen, if you watch Johnny Mitchell's podcast on it, he leans into it the whole time. And anytime I cut up or laughed about it, he cut it out. So it's solid the whole way through. It sounds like I'm trying to convince him, and we're talking about it. It's lawsuit material. No, I'm just joking. So yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's the best way to get views now.
The shorts got several
social
million.
media.
The shorts got million. Your short got over 1 million. Your video got your shorts got
our full video got over 1 million.
But so did your shorts.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure that the
all
TikToks
I knew is it went
got
crazy. It went crazy. That's the thing. Content like that is like the easiest way to get views and like blow up on the internet.
Yeah.
And people get stuck in that. They see that. They like, oh, okay, Garth Brooks is a serial killer. I made 1 million views on that. What's the next craziest thing I can do?
Yeah.
This is like the Candace Owens model.
Yeah. I was just about to say, look at Candace Owens. Like there was a time 2 years ago where, I listened to her and I thought she was great and she was amazing. And then whatever the rift was between she and Ben Shapiro happened. And then the next thing you know, she was saying insane stuff, talking about whatever.
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of legit stuff she says, and I think it's mixed in with a lot of insane stuff, and it's hard to parse out what's bullshit and what's actually correct, If you enjoy watching our show on Spotify or YouTube and you want to be more involved, I encourage you to please come check out our Patreon community. Not only does our Patreon community get every episode you see on YouTube early, fully uncensored, and ad-free, but we're also doing Patreon exclusive episodes as well as live Q&As, and you can get your personal questions answered by our guests every single week. For me, being able to collaborate and communicate back and forth with our Patreon community every week has been huge. And this is my way of saying thank you for the cost of a cup of coffee a month. Now back to the show.
So I mentioned this, by the way. I interviewed a former CIA agent, not Bustamante, because Bustamante, when I contacted him, was like, Matt, I can. I'm booked till, March or something. And I thought, I'm lucky I even got that response from him. And this guy I met, I did a keynote speech, and he did a keynote speech at the same place for a banking conference. And he had done it. And of course, all of the keynote speakers were sitting at the same table. So I got his information and I said, hey, man, can you? So I was like, who else do I know? I contacted him. He flew in, did a great job. That video just came out. But we mentioned Candace Owens briefly. Like we didn't go into it hard.
Yeah.
Listen, Candace Owens people,
they're loyal.
I'm telling you, I've got 30 to 40% of the comments are Candace Owens people saying, you just lost me. You just lost a subscriber. I can't listen to you. Candace Owens is showing us the truth about what they've been hiding all these years. Candace, I mean, they're going nuts. Like and of course the video is doing pretty well. It's been out for one day. It's got like 40,000 views. We also put her on the cover. So on
did
the
you
thumbnail,
really?
yeah. And but we barely even talk about it, but boy, let me tell you, they are upset. And it's the same thing. It's the controversy.
Have you paid attention to any of the stuff that she's been talking about this Charlie Kirk investigation? She's going hard.
I've watched a couple of TikToks, and the problem is, one, she's talking about people that I don't really know who they are, and it's like she's taking. To me, it appears, and I haven't done a deep dive into what she's saying, but it's gone from like Israel, and then she's incorporated, the Clintons, and she's incorporated this person, and then anybody that there's any rumors, it's all being incorporated into, and that Trump signed off on it, or it's just like this insane. It's like anything she can do, she throws in. It seems like she's throwing stuff into the pot, and it's like you don't have proof of any of this. Because what? You got an email from somebody, or the Trump administration admitted that there's a hit out on me, and it's like where? When I have the receipts, where? What are you talking about?
Yeah, she said that it was like she found evidence that the French Legionnaire they were doing some sort of a training course or some sort of training camp in California leading up to Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there was this Egyptian plane that was flying from Cairo to Delaware, and then I guess flew to Utah where Charlie was. And she has this whole timeline of what was happening leading up. Look, I'm sure there's a lot of legitimate stuff that she's like.
I mean, do I believe that there was a plane? Sure, some plane landed somewhere. Who was on it? That French legionnaires are conducting operations inside of the United States borders. Like,
well, look, here's
what are we doing?
Here's for sure. I think it's pretty obvious that it wasn't just this kid who did it. There was something way more sinister involved. There was definitely more people. There's definitely some kind of cover up. I mean, just look at the Crooks guy who tried to kill the president. Why did that get buried? There was all kinds of stuff on the internet about him. There was videos, there was posts, and
it got scrubbed.
It just got forgot about. The mainstream media just forgot about it, and the FBI said there was nothing. And Tucker Carlson just came out with this incredible video that did this deep dive into all this stuff that people were able to find on him, and like videos that he was posting. Like, if this guy existed on the internet, which he did, he would be the top of any federal agency's red flag list, right? Because like NSA, FBI, whatever it is.
You're talking about crooks.
Yeah,
correct. But he wouldn't, because the Biden administration was in charge, and at that time, and let's face it, even if they knew about him, they're probably hoping that he takes Trump out.
Well, that's my point.
Okay.
That's my point. We
did a whole thing on this. Remember we called up the CIA guy?
Yeah, John Kiriakou. Yeah. And then the whole thing just got scrubbed. And it's also weird that Trump hasn't talked about it at all. Like, he hasn't tried to like press in on that and like put his boot down a little bit harder to try to get more information out there. It seems like it's just like swept it under the rug. I mean,
he got issues. He's already got other things going on. He's got he's got Venezuela. He's got
But then with this thing, with the Charlie Kirk thing, there's just so many fucking holes in that story, dude. It doesn't line up. And the FBI like pushing the law enforcement in Utah to like close the case when there's so many fucking questions. All the stuff about Charlie Kirk and the billionaires trying to hold this influencer summit in the Hamptons a couple weeks before he got murdered. And just like the thing stinks to high heaven. The whole fucking thing stinks to high heaven. And Netanyahu inviting him to Israel, he declined. That's real. No one's come out and said that that's a lie. She's been showing text messages. There's videos of Charlie Kirk and the other Megyn Kelly talking about like they're getting bullied by these Israeli billionaire Zionists to do all this stuff, and they're like, and dude, the biggest fucking nail in the coffin is when Charlie Kirk went on Patrick Bet David like a 2 years ago, a year ago, shortly after October 7th. Charlie Kirk goes on Patrick Bet David's show, and he was like, I gotta be careful how I say this. But he's like, I've been to Israel many times. He's like, my question is, it's a legitimate question, is was there a stand down order after those terrorists went over the wall and killed all those people at that concert? Because I know for a fact it's a 45-minute helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border. No one did anything for 6 hours. And that was like the start of it. Like when that happened, it was like, whoa. Like this guy who's been invited to Israel so many times. He's pro-Israel mainly because of his belief, his faith, his religious faith. He believes that's like the site of the Holy Land and all that stuff. And then like since October 7th, he started to go more and more, questioning Israel. And then there was the summit that he did, the TPUSA summit in Tampa, which was, when was that, July? I think this was past July, where Tucker showed up and Candace wasn't there, but Tucker was there and Dave Smith was there. Dave Smith did a debate with this guy named Josh Hammer, and Tucker was there, did this long monologue, and they both were talking about Israel and, how Israel is blackmailing our politicians. And yeah, this is the video, Charlie. We don't have to play it. And basically the Israeli foreign lobby, the lobby in Congress, like it's insane. They don't have to register as a foreign agent. And anyways, it seems like, and that's also a part of Candace's whole thing. That's when this whole thing started to go downhill fast. And then Netanyahu reached out and said, I think this is verified, but he said to her, or to Charlie, let's meet, come to Israel, and we'll take TPUSA to the next level, whatever that means. And apparently he declined. Well, now he's dead. Now he wants to say Israel did it.
Well, I mean, why did he decline? Maybe he declined because
totally.
There's many reasons he didn't. And I don't see that any of that says that they're behind the shooting.
Right.
It's just that there's a rift there, and there's always things going on behind the scenes. And but I don't think that doesn't mean that this guy, this kind of lone wolf kid, didn't decide he was going to, shoot Charlie Kirk, and he didn't just get lucky. It's
possible.
Crooks didn't get lucky. Crooks missed and nipped his ear, right? But this kid actually fucking hit him, right? So, how do you know that's just not what it is,
right?
Like the simplest answer is usually the truth. Not that all that other stuff isn't possible.
I don't.
But where's the leap? That it's a leap to say all of this is going on, and they want to kill a private citizen.
Right. Okay. Think about this. Why, if you want to kill somebody, there's the two angles. Like, was it somebody who wanted to obviously it was somebody who wanted to make a spectacle. They wanted to be public. If it was somebody that was like in his inner circle, they wouldn't have done it like that and made it made theater out of it, right? They would have done it privately, done something else.
Yeah, it could have been any number of things where they know he's not going to be out in front of everybody.
So whoever did it obviously wanted to send a message or make some sort of political statement or something like that.
Or this is the only place they knew where he would be, and they had a shot at him. Like, I'm never going to get close enough to this guy.
The guy always does these kind. This is his career. This is his gimmick.
That's what I'm saying. This kid knew, I know where he'll be. I know the lay of that area. I can go in and I can check the whole thing out, and I can get from this roof. This is where he's supposed to be. I believe I can take a shot and I can hit him. And he did. And he hit him, and it was a horrific. But so, I mean, I don't know that means that Israel was behind it, or that anybody specifically was. Not that they don't maybe have a whole bunch of issues with him. I just don't. It's like, and I get it. Listen, in 100 years from now, like 100 years from now, like there's probably going to be podcasts where they released all the files, and it turns out you're right. Oswald was actually sitting in the cafeteria when Kennedy was shot. And then you're going, what? And then suddenly all from. Right now it's all muddy, and maybe in 50 years from now it makes complete sense when they start if you've ever seen these things where they put together the timeline with Oswald and all, it's insane. Like all these Matter of fact, you know who does a great job of it? The movie JFK with Oswald. Have you ever seen it?
The first movie?
Yeah, with Kevin Costner.
Yep.
I mean, it really like lays it out. And of course, it lays it out because they have this fictitious character that lays it out for you, right? Who he was a part of the military. And he explains the whole thing, lays it out, and you're like, wow. And maybe all that's true, but maybe Oswald just was in the Texas Book Depository, and he decided to take a shot, and it worked out for him.
There's no way that's true, though.
Yeah, I don't really believe that's true either.
No, I mean, but the footage showed back and to the left.
Yeah. It's the most insane shot ever, where the blowback.
There was multiple shots.
Yeah,
there was one where it's like this.
Yeah, there's one here. There's one here, and then the other one is like, he gets hit from behind, and he flies back towards the Come on, that doesn't happen. Right. Because I'm an expert. I've seen a bunch of movies. But yeah, it doesn't look. It just nobody that looks at the film thinks, oh yeah, that shot came from behind. Like, no, right. There's no way. So I mean, I agree. You know what? There's a guy. There's a whole video, and this was a guy that was locked up, and where he admits that he was the shooter, and it's a whole.
Oh, this guy.
Have you ever seen that?
Emailed me.
Is he even still alive?
I've had at least a couple people email me telling me they were the shooter.
No, this was a guy that was in prison. This was a guy who was in prison, and it's back in the. I don't know. See, I hate saying that. I hate that. Yeah. I don't know, but it's a whole video where he's interviewed by like a journalist or something.
Yeah.
And it's like this, it's not really a documentary. It's just they get him and they're interviewing him in the prison. He's actually in prison for, I believe, murder or something, where he gets 20 years and he ends up dying, I think, in prison.
Would you find this on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
What did he look like? What was he?
He was just a white guy, and supposedly he was in the military. He was in the military, and he had been contacted. No, I think he had gotten out of the military, but he was a sharpshooter. He'd gotten out of the military, I want to say, and then he was contacted by some of his old military guys. That's him. Yeah. It's very I think he's dead. Is he dead now?
I don't know.
How old are
James E. Files?
Yeah, I think this guy's actually emailed me.
Okay, then he's still alive? Wow.
I think so.
Let me check my email. Listen, he's very convincing.
Is he?
Yes.
So you know who Danny Sheehan was the lawyer for Watergate and the Pentagon Papers. He interviewed a bunch of people that were really close to the JFK assassination and the Watergate thing and the Pentagon Papers.
It says he's 83 years old.
What was his first name? James Files?
James Files.
James Files. Do I have an email from him?
While serving a 50-year sentence for a 1991 attempted murder of 2 police officers, Files gave an interview stating that he was the Grassy Knoll shooter in 1963, assassination of the U.S. president. Guy says he's 83.
Yeah,
born 1942.
Yeah, he's still alive.
That's amazing. I thought he had died in prison. I knew he was in prison. I wonder if he got out. Maybe he got out.
So what did he say? Who did he say? Does he say who hired him to do it?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of knew the guys who hired him, but he kind of felt like I think he felt like they were either they were with the military, or they had been with the military, or were with the military, and were working for like a private agency, which he believed was probably not that, but it may have been the CIA, something along like. He knew they were working for somebody else. They got him because I think he wasn't in the military anymore, or maybe he was. But they basically pull him off, and he's like, he didn't even realize that he was going to be the shooter until like very much the last minute. And he even talks about how he left something in the area. There's something where he left something, a bullet or a cigarette butt. He leaves something in the area that they found. Oh. And he talks about how and I left this, and turns out that's part of one of the things that they found when they went up to the grassy knoll. Talks about these people being over here, and this guy. He has it's a very, very compelling story where if I wasn't so opposed to it, I would be like, fuck, I think this guy might have shot. It's
also a great way to sell some books from prison.
It is. I don't know if he was selling a book, but it is a great interview if you watched it. It's very convincing, although I'm old and I can't remember all of it.
What
I knew
does
we
it
were going to
say?
talk about it. I would've-
Vincent Bugliosi, he was the prosecutor of the Manson case, author of the 2007 book. Wow, easy for you to say. Reclaiming History: The Assassination of President John F. Kennedy, characterized files as the Rodney Dangerfield of Kennedy assassins. According to Bugliosi, was a fucking bona fide liar.
Okay.
By the way, for what that's worth. Very few within the majority of Americans, 75% who believe there was a conspiracy to kill Kennedy, respect him or his story. However, conspiracy author James Croth described files as surprisingly credible and said his story is the most believable and persuasive about the assassination.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
It's very.
So Danny Sheehan, the Harvard lawyer, told me that it was some anti-Castro Cubans that shot the president because it was easy to recruit them. They were part of this group called the S-Force, and they were the ones that were a part of the Bay of Pigs invasion. And they all hated Kennedy because he didn't provide air support.
Yeah, he really fucking he really left them out to dry, and the agreement with I think was it Eisenhower who was before him or whoever Kennedy took over for or won the presidency from, which is funny because the whole time Kennedy was running, he was beating up. Who did Kennedy win from? Was it Eisenhower?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Look it up.
Was it Truman? No, it was not Truman. That was 40s, 50s. Maybe Eisenhower? No, I don't know.
Who was it?
We don't know our
it-
history here.
No. Well, that's why we're
none of
asking.
us know.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
You mean like who he beat?
Who was the president before Kennedy?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is not the
Who
podcast.
was the president
He'll find it
before
first.
Kennedy?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Lyndon B. Johnson. No, that's not true. He was his vice president. Sorry.
Right.
Was succeeded.
Yeah, who was before
I
him?
typed in superseded. Preceded.
Are we all that retarded? We can't figure out how to ask an iPhone who was before Kennedy?
I just asked a buddy of mine who's trying to answer me right now. He's just fucking
I bet
long-winded.
y'all beat both you guys.
This motherfucker. Come on, Dave.
Who was the president before John F. Kennedy?
Eisenhower.
Oh, I said Eisenhower.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Eisenhower. You're right.
Okay. So
You barely got me
Words.
there, Steve.
So Kennedy, the whole time during the debates, was beating up Eisenhower about the fact that Cuba was now it had been taken over and that he had done nothing about it. And so, of course, Eisenhower actually knows that the CIA is currently training former Cubans, to go back in and take over the island. And so once Kennedy takes over and he's briefed about that, Kennedy, who the whole time made it sound like he was going to do something about it, suddenly decided he's not going to do anything. Suddenly, when he found out what the plan was, he decided it seemed too much like D-Day.
Yes.
And he was like, they're going to know we're behind it. And he wanted deniability. So he switched the area where they were going to land, which was a nice sandy beach. He switched that area and he picked another area, which was the Bay of Pigs, which was rocks, and it was just a horrible place to land. And then their agreement was, if you could take the beachhead and hold it for like a few hours or a day, he's like, then we'll send in air support. And so the Cubans were very upset because he'd cut everything in half.
Right.
How many they were bringing in, the boats, everything. The Cubans come in, they hold it for 3 days, and they basically they never send the troops. And the CIA officers who had trained these guys, worked with them for a year, had to sit there on the radio and listen to these guys get slaughtered.
Right.
They run out of fuel.
Yep.
They run out of weapon or out of ammunition. Eventually, the Cubans take them over, or whatever. And Kennedy refused to send in air support and just let these guys get slaughtered. So I can see the Cubans hating his guts. I just don't know.
So, according to Danny Sheehan, Howard Hughes was a big part of this too. And Nixon, when he was the governor of, what state was he the governor of? Was it California?
I have no idea.
Who? Nixon? Nixon was the governor
California.
of California. Got it. So Nixon was a part of the training, him and Howard Hughes. He asked Howard Hughes to help him train a hit squad to assassinate Castro. So they got these anti-Castro Cubans they recruited with the CIA, and they were training them down in Oaxaca, Mexico. And this was around the same time as the Iran-Contra, the Contras and the Sandinistas thing in Central America. And so Howard Hughes set this all up and like got the mob. The mob was involved somehow. And Nixon was the one who tasked him to do it. So they were training these triangular hit teams of Cubans down in Oaxaca, Mexico, where they would set up in a triangular formation to assassinate. And the goal was to assassinate Castro. And they actually went down there to try to assassinate Castro, I think 3 times, and every mission failed. They obviously never could do it. And so eventually, once the decision was made by, I mean, it's pretty obvious that it was fucking us that killed the president. I mean, everyone has their own flavor of who killed John F. Kennedy, but I think it's overwhelming that
somebody assassinated.
That it was a military coup and it was the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Whenever the decision was made by whoever you believe it was to kill the president, it was those same triangular hit squads, those Cubans that were trained to kill Castro, that killed the president. And what Watergate was allegedly all about. So the way they were funding that training in Oaxaca, Mexico, was the International Bank in Mexico City. They were giving money to those guys. And so they killed the president, and then Watergate, the same assassination team, those Cubans that broke in during the Watergate thing, one of them.
Cubans broke in during Watergate?
Yeah. It was a couple of Cubans that broke into the hotel. There was a bunch of guys, but at least 2 of them were Cubans. 2 of them were on that same hit squad training in Oaxaca, Mexico to kill the president. And one of them had a receipt in his pocket to that same bank that was funding them. And the FBI director, whoever the head of the FBI was that was investigating that.
Was that George Bush?
Yeah. So several of the men who broke into the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate office complex in 92 were Cuban exiles. So one of those Cuban exiles at Watergate had a receipt to that bank in Mexico City. And the FBI guy was trying to investigate that. And Nixon wanted to put the kibosh on that because he knew that if the FBI found out that there was a connection to those guys that were training in Mexico, the triangular hit teams, he knew that they would be able to trace it back to him eventually. And he was incredibly paranoid that was going to open up the whole Kennedy can of worms. And also the CIA director at the time, who was the same guy during MK Ultra. Anyways, the head of the CIA at the time was like, why do you want us to stop this investigation into these Cuban exiles? And the White House,
John McCone?
No, it wasn't John McCone. It was the guy before that, I think. The response was from the chief of staff for Nixon was, that's going to open up a whole can of worms, that's going to let the genie out of the bottle on the Kennedy thing, and we don't want that to happen. So that's when they killed that. But the reality of it was Nixon didn't order the murder. He was just connected to training the hit squads that ended up killing the president. And he was just paranoid that he was going to get blamed for killing Kennedy.
Okay.
Which is crazy.
I don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't even have an opinion on it.
And it was 50 years ago. We still don't know the answer. Or how many years ago was that?
Shoot. 60s was 60
it was
years
a long time ago.
60 years ago.
And we still don't know the truth.
Yeah. I wonder
People
if,
just
I don't
forget
think
about
we ever will know the truth, right? Like the documents.
How many people do you think, if you were to poll all the Americans, believe that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone? What would you like a guesstimate of like percentage?
25%.
You think 25% think he acted alone?
Was it? Didn't it just say 75% of people believe that it was some kind of an assassination? Isn't that what that statistic just said?
Oh, I don't know. What was that? I think that was about the James Files guy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't remember what we just read, to be honest. But like,
what percentage of U.S. population believe Kennedy was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald?
Let's see what it says. Ask it what percentage of U.S. citizens believe Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not using
that would be
ChatGPT.
impossible
I
to
was
be
just
accurate.
using Google, so it's got a bunch of stuff, but it's not very specific.
I bet you it's not a lot.
Yeah, I don't. What 25% isn't a lot, is it? 65% of Americans think Kennedy was assassinated. It says 65.
Oh wow, they think he was assassinated.
U.S. government. U.S. government names most
really going out on a limb there.
40% think he's alive.
20%.
Look at this. In 2013, a poll found that 30% of Americans believed Oswald was a lone gunman.
Okay, I said 25%, right?
That's crazy. I mean,
worked in concert with
anyone
others,
who's paying
29%.
attention.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody who's paying just a little bit of attention knows the government's lying, and they don't care. They don't have to tell us the truth, right? Like, what's gonna happen?
It's funny when you know, like growing up, I never saw it that way, but now, because of social media and because there's so many conspiracies that are have been uncovered, like now it's like you just,
How about the Epstein one? That's
pretty
the
much
best one.
believe that almost everything they're saying, or at least half of what they say is a lie.
Yeah.
Whatever happened with this UFO thing?
What do you mean?
I mean, they're like they've just basically admitted, like that's the end of it. They've admitted that there are these things that are out there that we don't know what they are, and they show up every once in a while, and we get them on tape sometimes, and that's it.
Who was saying this? Where'd you read this?
I mean, the thing that the Navy caught on film, and that there's there were the hearings and
You talking about the Age of Disclosure documentary that just came out last week?
well, I didn't see that, but in general, but yes, that type of a thing where I'm saying like what ultimately, like Marco Rubio's on it, like they're talking about
there's a lot of high-ranking officials on there, like military people, Joint Chiefs of Staff people,
so you
senators.
Watched it?
Oh yeah.
What was ultimately the conclusion was I thought prior to this I just kind of thought so that's like we're never getting the real answer. Like
it seems like everybody in the government and the military are very aware that this is real. But it seems like there's an internal fight within the government and the military, a clash of people in Camp 1 that want to keep this stuff a secret and Camp 2 that want to make it public.
right.
And the group that wants to keep it a secret, I believe, is because that a lot of the money, like in the black budget, and a lot of the missing money from the Pentagon, has gone to these projects, these like reverse engineering projects, because it's got to be kept a secret and it can't be accounted for, right? So they would be criminally liable if this stuff came out. They would face they would face crimes. So I think what the goal is with these documentaries like this is to and there's also a lot of whistleblowers in there that have come out of these programs, like Air Force guys and Navy guys and generals and stuff like this, and people in the CIA that claim it's real. Number one, there's got to be whistleblower protection for these people, and number two, it sucks, but you got to do it. You got to give amnesty.
I was just gonna say, why can't Trump just give a blanket?
You got to give a blanket
to anybody
amnesty,
involved,
right, to these people, so they don't go to prison or anything for some of this stuff, because what's worse, right? You got to what's less bad. I think it's more important for if there is some sort of fucking civilization that's living here on Earth, sharing this planet with us that we don't know about, that's super advanced. We should know about it. I think we can handle it. I think human beings should know about that. You shouldn't keep that a secret from the rest of humanity.
I mean, even if you told everybody and they were upset, what are they going to do? That's just the way it is. And we haven't known about it this whole time. So obviously they're hidden. They're either underwater or, whatever. They're a different dimension. They're not interfering with us. It's not like they're knocking planes out of the sky. Right. So if you knew about it, what's it going to change? You're still going to pay your rent.
Right.
You're still going to pay your credit cards. I'm still going to go to work. It's not going to.
Yeah.
When they came out with these, hey, we've got these videos of these UFO things flying around, and they finally they finally came out and said, okay, this is true. We know it's true. We don't really know what they are, and they have these hearings. The economy, nothing crashed. The economy didn't crash. People didn't quit their jobs. There weren't mass suicides. So why not say something?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. The question is, what are they?
And that should have been the feeler, right? Like we'll give them a little bit. Let's leak this. See what they do. Okay, well, it seemed fine.
Yeah, I think.
So fine, give me a little bit more. You can keep pushing. You can give us a little bit more. Like clearly we can handle it. I'm sure that it's no worse than our worst fears, right? Like if they've been here and they're occupying deep parts of the ocean, or they're living underground, or they're living in another dimension when they're with us all the time, then you can say that because it doesn't affect us. It's just curiosity. Like, okay, well now that makes sense. And what are those things? Well, sometimes this happens in this. You give a basic understanding. You go, okay, so they don't really cause a problem, do they? Are they really coming and kidnapping us and doing experiments? No, that's not really happening. Or maybe they say, well, yeah, that's happened a few times. We don't really know. Yeah. Nobody's going to storm the Capitol because of that.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think the way they're trying to do it is like slowly drip it out, like slowly get people used to it, like documentaries.
We're going to do 50 years of sci-fi movies. Then we're going to release some tapes. Then we're going to,
or maybe not. Maybe they're just going to keep. Maybe they're just going to keep.
It's a 100-year plan.
Maybe they're just going to keep inching us closer and closer and closer to it, and closer and closer and closer and then never fucking say anything and just make us feel like we're going crazy and make us fucking.
It's a psyops.
It just drive us insane, kind of like. How now, the loudest voices on the internet saying the most absurd stuff get the most attention and the most views and all that stuff, to where like nothing is fucking real anymore. Whatever's up must be down. If the government says it's raining outside, I'm going to go check because I think they're lying, because they're probably lying.
Right.
It could be that too. Who fucking knows? But I mean, it seems like there's overwhelming evidence that there's something going on.
Yeah.
But I've never personally seen it.
No, me neither. I do like thinking about it though.
I think it's crazy that I think it's crazy though that like I think it's super plausible that if there is another civilization here, it's not from like Mars or some other planet. I think it's definitely here, because like we've explored more of Mars than we've explored of our own ocean floors. Like this planet's 70% ocean.
Yeah. So you're saying
we've explored more of the surface of Mars than we have explored of our own oceans.
Right. Well, because we can't photograph it from from space, right? So you can't photograph the bottom of the ocean. So,
well, yeah, we like
you have to go down there.
Isn't it saying that we can put a lunar rover on Mars and go all across and take photos and videos, but we can't do that on the ocean floor?
It's a lot of pressure.
Pretty wild.
It's a lot of pressure. Yeah. Water's, it's heavy, crushes stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, like if they have like some sort of super advanced technology that can handle like atmospheric pressure that deep, maybe they do have fucking caves and stuff under there. I mean, think about it this way. Think about if there was some sort of like catastrophe on Earth right now, like a comet hit us, or there was a nuclear war or whatever there was. Who would survive? It would be probably like some uncontacted tribes in the Amazon, and Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos,
they have their
in their bunker compounds that they built,
and then stuff on the underneath the ocean.
So continuity government stuff. So you would have billionaires, super smart billionaires with tons of money, and you would have the highest levels of the government and military with their underground bases and their underwater bases and all that, whatever they have. And people that are in nuclear submarines would probably survive.
You should have built a bunker here. That's what happened. He should have had a bunker. You probably do have a bunker. Me? You probably didn't show me the bunker. He showed me the whole place, and then he started to go show me the bunker. He's like, I don't want Matt banging on the door in 6 months when the asteroids come and saying, let me in, Danny, please. I got you 10 million views.
Could you imagine how crazy that would fucking be, bro? You saw, you know what it was like here when the hurricanes hit. Like this town was like Mad Max when the hurricanes hit, bro.
Yeah, because you were front line. Like
I was here.
I was in Wesley Chapel, and we didn't have electric for like 3 days, and 4 days no electric, and I think 3 days of no phone service, and that was just bizarre. I've been in Florida, my whole life, albeit 3 years and some incarceration, but that was also in Florida. Mm-hmm. So, but I've never had 4 days of electric going out. That was and we were in Wesley Chapel. That's like 10, 15 miles from, and so this place is flooded, and like this area here, like you're right on. This
whole area was underwater.
That's nuts.
It was like Mad Max, bro. Like people were like sitting on their roofs because their whole houses were underwater. And it was insane. Like shit was closed. Grocery stores were running out of everything. No gas stations had fucking gas. You'd have to plan your day around like weird survival things, you know, like I was using my truck to power my house at one point. I mean, I got a generator and I got like propane and all that. And it's just like how you have to restructure is crazy. But that's just a fucking hurricane, just losing power for a couple of days. Like now imagine if there was like a catastrophe that killed millions and millions, if not billions of people. And there was only a couple thousand people that survived. Well, the thousands of people that survived would be those Mark Zuckerbergs, Elon Musks, military generals, the presidents, those people. Right. So those people are left. They're just going to breed. They're going to repopulate. And then eventually maybe humans will start to sprout back up. Humanity will start to evolve again. And then maybe it takes a couple 100,000 years for them to get back to where you were when that asteroid hit. At that point, you've evolved already. Maybe you've been underground. Maybe your conditions have been changed. Maybe the sky was blacked out. You're not getting enough sun. Your diet's changed. Maybe there's inbreeding. You're getting more homogenized and you're going to look different. Maybe you're going to communicate different. Maybe you're going to, I don't know. Who knows how you evolve? I'm not an anthropologist. But like if that humanity did kind of restart and they got to the point where we are now, imagine what we would look like if we were 500,000 years more advanced, you know?
Right.
Maybe we would have the technology to conceal ourselves from the apes that are populating and kind of re-evolving, but we would want to keep an eye on them, make sure they don't blow each other up. There's been literally super high-ranking people at these nuclear sites that I have a guy coming on the podcast soon who is one of them. Like, if you have to be one of those guys, those Air Force officers that work at those ICBM bunkers, you have to be tip-top, peak, like highest level, psychologically sound.
Right.
Because you have your fingers on the buttons.
Yeah.
These guys are literally saying, fucking UFOs came and hovered over our ICBM missiles and turned them off. Or in Russia, it happened too. They said they pointed them at the United States and armed them. And then it's like, just kidding. They turned them off. So if those people are saying this stuff's real, I don't know. I don't know how to.
You believe it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's what we would do though. Like if we were those people that were like a breakaway, we survived through a cataclysm and humanity reset and we evolved technologically, we would want to make sure that
let's keep
primitive us that's evolving again isn't going to destroy this planet that we live on.
Right. Ryan, is it Ryan Gossett?
Ryan Gosling?
Gosling, thank you. Well, I knew I was saying his name wrong. Right. So he has a movie coming out. Have you seen that?
No, I've seen part of it.
I've seen a few movies. What movie are you talking about?
Did you see it's the one where he's
the moon one?
No, it's not the moon.
There's
where
one
the
he did where he picked the moon.
Mary.
Where the stars, so it's like a virus is affecting stars, and they're basically collapsing. And so he's like a science teacher at a high school or something. They go and they like NASA or somebody comes and they grab him and bring him to NASA. And he's like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Okay, here's what's happening." For some reason, they choose him, and he's like, "What? We're gonna put you to sleep, and we're gonna send you off here because there's one star that." It hasn't been affected, but it's about to affect the sun, and it's a virus, and we want to know what's happening here so we can try and fix it. Mm-hmm. Listen,
play the trailer.
The trailer is amazing. It's amazing. It's like a dark comedy, but it's great.
Full screen this bitch.
Very interesting.
I gotta see this. That looks badass.
Yeah, I think the alien is like rock based or something.
The alien's cute.
The aliens, yeah. It's listen, that trailer, which the movie may suck, but that trailer is close to
they
like Interstellar kind of trailer. Like,
oh no, not my bow off.
Interstellar was just
it's hard to top Interstellar.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat Matthew McConaughey too.
Yeah. But this,
I just had a NASA astronaut on the podcast last week.
Did you?
Yeah. One of the last, there's 4 guys still alive that walked on the moon.
Who was it?
Charlie Duke. He was on Apollo 16.
Oh, okay.
He's one of the last 4 guys living that walked on the moon.
He's got to be in his 80s.
90.
Wow. And he's all there?
He's pretty sharp, dude.
Okay.
He's pretty sharp. I had him on here debating the world's #1 moon landing denier.
Oh, I saw this. I saw I saw this. Wow.
Yeah. It was.
How did that go?
Not great.
Why? What are the numbers? I mean, not great. Why? Because why?
It was a train wreck. It was a train wreck of a podcast.
What? Were they angry at each other or were they civil? 90-year-old guys tend to have anger problems.
90-year-old, no, he wasn't angry.
He's
Charlie was
irritated.
very nice.
okay.
Charlie was very calm and cordial.
Was the other guy a dick?
The problem was, yeah, he was a dick, but I kept him in check. I tried my best to keep him in check. The problem was like the old guy's old, right?
Yeah.
And I think he suffers from short-term memory loss. I spent at least 3 months. How long did we schedule this thing? We scheduled this thing 3 months ago.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we scheduled it 3 months in advance, right? And I spent. I had numerous phone calls with Charlie, the astronaut. I talked to him on the phone maybe 12 times, I want to say.
Did he keep calling you Benji or something, or did he not?
No. I was explaining to him like what we were doing,
What a podcast is,
and like explaining him Bart and all Bart's positions on why the moon landing was fake, and showing him Bart's website. By the way, he knew Bart, like he had known Bart from 20 years prior when Bart called him.
Okay.
So he's like, I remember this guy. I've seen videos. And Charlie has done podcasts about moon landing deniers, right?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Train wreck or not, it's got over 350,000 views in 2 days, and it's almost 4 hours long.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's a great result.
Let me explain. He's done podcasts like this before. He's with it. He seems sharp on all the other podcast interviews that he's done, right? Like, especially for a 90-year-old. I've never talked to a 90-year-old that's that with it.
Okay.
So he's like, yeah, I talk to these people all the time, Danny. He's like, no problem. And so I'm like, so I sent him Bart's website, talked to him about what Bart believes, asked him, talked to him. I walked him through over the phone some of the biggest points that I think Bart had and that Bart's going to bring to the table. No problem, whatever. Anyways, I kept talking to him. I talked to him once a week for probably 3 months. He gets here, and then he's like, what are we discussing? I was like, no. Every 30 minutes, he's like, I don't understand the purpose of this conversation. What are you trying to tell me you don't believe? By the way, here's another interesting tidbit. The moment the astronaut walked into the studio and Bart, the moon landing denier, was here, the first thing Charlie Duke said to him was, didn't you call me 20 years ago and say that you don't think I went to the moon? And the moon landing denier was like, wow, you remember that? Yeah, that was me. It's nice to finally meet you in the flesh. We sat down for the 4-hour podcast, and he, sitting where you are, was telling him, he's like, are you trying to tell me you don't believe the moon landing happened? Do you think I'm lying? I didn't go to the moon.
Was this later in the day? Or was it early?
It was 1 o'clock, I think we started to film.
Because they so when you get older, they have something called the twilight.
No, because
period.
I personally picked him up from the airport the night before, and we had a great conversation. It was 9 o'clock at night.
I mean, it could
maybe
could have been anything that threw him off or his routine off. Like my mom would have in the morning when she woke up for several hours, she was really, really sharp. Mm-hmm. And then they had that she would hit that kind of twilight where it got to be 6 or 7, 8 o'clock, and she got bad. She got bad. She forgot things. She told you things over and over again. Yeah. It was bad. And she was she was 90, from 90 to 92, so it was no good. So, and I noticed that, I've always thought that, if I had somebody older on or if you talk to older people, I always take it into consideration. But you're saying it was 1 o'clock in the day, so that doesn't make sense.
1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Maybe he was tired, or that's too bad.
No, I was jacking him up with coffee. I was feeding him all kinds of shit to get him stimulated. I offered him some smelling salts. He didn't want that, but he seemed fine, man. We took 1 break in 4 hours.
Well, his resident time zone is 2 hours.
No, he's in South Carolina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's, it's funny because at that age, in a week, 2 days later, the next day, he might have been fucking sharp as a tack and tore the dude in half.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. It's a dicey. Like I interviewed a guy he's a skyjacker the other day.
And skyjacker?
Yeah. Right after DB.
Like Steve, are we talking about like Steve-O skyjacking?
No. Like DB Cooper.
Steve-O skyjacking.
Like DB Cooper.
Steve-O for his last tour, he went up on a plane and jacked himself off to he finished on the plane and then jumped out of the plane.
Well, it wasn't that.
And he called it skyjacking. Oh, God.
Well, I think this guy was in his late 80s, and he did 30 years in prison for 30, maybe 40 years in prison for skyjacking. Not the Steve-O, no Steve-O. Yeah, and it was right after DB Cooper, and he told an amazing story, but towards the end of the story, he started getting a little loopy. He started and it got to a point where we were wrapping it up and he started telling another story and we're like, okay, well, then he started telling another and it got to the point he's like, did I mention that such and such? And it was like, yeah, you did, you did. And he did a great job. But you're sitting there thinking, wow, he's so sharp. But then he would do these things where he'd start talking about something 10 years earlier, 10 years, it wasn't chronological.
Right.
We'd have to bring him back. And then he'd start to tell the same story again. It was little things and you're like, now there's a documentary on him, which is phenomenal because of course there's 30 hours of editing, or 30 hours of footage and they trim it down. And so you've got 3 hours of an amazing video. And the thing was good, but it was a remote. It didn't do very well.
Oh, it was a remote podcast?
Yeah, I hate doing remotes. It was no good. I mean, remotes are horrible. They don't do well for me. I don't like doing them. And but it was the same thing. Like he was great at certain things. He was great, and there are other things where it's like I don't think he understands right now what we're talking about. He's just
so how did he how do you? Is he just like he going up there with a box cutter and like threatening to cut their throats? Like
no, he had a gun. Did? He had a gun. This was prior to. This wasn't DB Cooper where he said he had a bomb. Mm-hmm. This guy got on with a weapon, and he skyjacked, or while the plane was in the air, he pulls the weapon out, and then they land, and then he lets off almost everybody.
Oh wow!
And then just before that
was nice.
Yeah, almost everybody. He keeps a few people, and he gets the money. Like he says, I don't know what it was, 300,000 or something. He gets it, and then as the plane's about to take off again, he's going to have it go up somewhere, and he's going to jump out. Same exact plane as DB Cooper with the rear staircase. And so as the plane, listen to this, as the plane is going down, everybody knew that this was happening. So the local news knew what was happening, and there was a bar that was like a mile or two from the airport, and they were playing this on the local news. And this is at night, right? So this is like 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. Some drunk at the bar is like, this is ridiculous. Somebody needs to do something about this. And he goes and he gets in his car, his new Cadillac, and he bashes through the fence and he drives down the runway as the plane's starting to take off, and he rams the plane. The car blows up. So it stopped, and this guy's got his weapon. He's like, what the fuck is just happening? He thinks it's maybe the FBI.
Yeah.
Anyway, he ends up saying, I need another plane. He thinks don't fuck with me, that kind of stuff. So they get him another plane. Everybody gets out of that plane, goes on the next plane. They take off, and when he jumps out of the plane, he's never jumped out of the plane before. I mean, I was like, you've never. He's
this
like,
is the guy that was on your podcast?
Yeah, it's insane. I'm like, you never jumped out of a plane? He's like, no, I never jumped out of a plane. So so when he jumps out, he kind of like had the bag with the money. And of course,
first of all, where'd the money come from?
Oh, well, he asked for the airline to give him money, and they do. They would back then. They would,
hundreds of thousands.
Yes, DB Cooper got like.
Oh wow,
250,000 or 300,000. So he got something like that, 200,000-300,000, because he knew DB Cooper got away with it. So he's like, this guy got away with it, and there was no security back then. So
Steve, will you give me a white rabbit? You got 3 up there. Yeah, but they're not cold.
Oh, cold.
So what he ends up doing is when he jumps out. Have you ever skydived?
What flavor is that? Okay, that works. I've never skydived. No desire.
So when the parachute, first of all, you're dropping very fast. And so when the parachute deploys, the harness yanks into you. Yeah. I mean, it yanks in. Like there's actually, you can get yanked by the harness so bad that it can sever your testicle. Like you have to have it. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing with Marcus Schrinker. I wrote that book, Bailout.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That's what he said it happened to him. I think he's got it both as nuts, but whatever. But that it's a true thing. I talk to guys and they're like, oh no, it's a big deal. Like with these guys, they're like, oh no, it'll happen. But you get yanked out. And if you do it once, you get yanked. You realize like, wow, he'd never done it. So he's like kind of holding the bag. So when he pulls the parachute, whoo, it yanks, whoo, the bag just yanks right out of his hand. He loses the money. Fucking great. And he's like, I'm going down. I can't see nothing. I can see one light. And I'm trying to think, well, I got to remember where the, if I could try and triangulate, I could figure out where the money went. And there was no light. There was one light. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know how far I'm at. I don't know. He does end up landing. He actually goes to sleep for a few hours. He phones a friend. The police
And
chief.
does somebody land the plane?
Yeah, because it was a commercial
Okay,
airline.
he didn't just ghost ride the plane.
No. He's not a pilot. He couldn't take off.
Okay.
So he actually hitchhikes, and the sheriff of the town picks him up and actually says to him, he's like, what are you doing? And he's a little scratched up and says, oh, I had an issue with some buddies, and I just need to go to a motel. He's like, okay. He said, yeah, you can't be walking around here. He said, we're looking for that skyjacker. You hear about that? And it had been a day or two because he fell asleep in the woods. He was beat up. He was fucked up. He's looking for the money. So anyway, they take him to the hotel, drop him off. He calls a friend. His friend eventually comes to pick him up. But by the time he picks him up, he's like, he had planned it with like two other people knew. Well, as soon as they heard what had happened, these guys called the cops.
They ratted?
Of course. They didn't really think he would do it. And they are the ones who kind of helped plan it. Mm-hmm. So they're like, fuck. Like, what's happening? And the guy's calling me? You're calling me to pick you up? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, what about what's happening? I lost the money. Oh, Jesus, there's nothing good in this for me. I'm calling the cops. So, yeah, he gets grabbed. And then when he goes to prison, he hooks up with a con man who convinces a woman to come see him. He gets her to fall in love with him. He said, very charismatic guy. Like he could talk to these women and they were sending him money and he's talking to multiple women. Convinces this woman to come see him. They start seeing each other. Convinces her to break him out of jail by going to a helicopter pilot, get a helicopter pilot, get a gun, tell him you're going to go up and you're a real estate agent. You're going to look for property from the air. You got a big buyer that wants to buy a bunch of acreage. So talks her into going, and she hires a helicopter pilot. And when he takes her up to supposedly go look for this stuff, she pulls the gun out and says, we're going to land over here in the rec yard. You're picking up these two guys. And they're there waiting. Like he's like, we could see the helicopter. We're waiting. And the guy he'd flown a bunch. He was like a career military guy who just started doing the helicopter thing. So he's flown like, 1,000 or so, helicopter trips in Vietnam or so. Like, this is not the guy to try and you're some chick. And at some point she's looking out and he turns around and he grabs her and he yanks she fires the gun a few times. Oh God. And he lets go of the throttle thing and grabs the gun, yanks it away from her. And he's got the gun, and she literally said, oh, well, that's fine. I got another one. And reaches into her bag to pull out the other gun, and the guy turns around, just pop, 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 and just shoots her, kills her. So he got more time for that. I mean, it's an insane story. But it didn't do well. We released it on
How long was he in prison?
Oh, for like 40 years or something. I tried to get them to bring him to me, like, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, look, he's like 80 something years old. Like he can't, I think, he can't, like.
Where's he live?
Oh gosh. He's somewhere. It's one of those square states up north. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's,
He was 80?
Yeah, he was.
I got a 90-year-old astronaut to come here, bro. You can get an 80-year-old.
I could. I probably should have pushed harder because he was very good at it. I mean, he was very good at the podcast. He did a great job. And, but they said no, and it was no. And it was
Sounds like a fun one, though.
It was fun. He was very fun. And he wasn't, like, he could tell a story. And he was, like I said, he was very with it for the bulk of the thing. It's just, the problem was it was remote, and we released it. Like, Colby didn't want to release it. Colby didn't want to do any of these anymore. And so I did it, and he's like, I'll release it on Thanksgiving. because he knows if we don't want to release it on in a normal day, because he's like, it's going to get dog shit views anyway. Sorry, do we have a napkin?
Yeah. Oh, I got to take a leak anyways. Take a quick break.
It was yesterday. I interviewed this guy for like 4.5 hours, and he was talking about like, making, millions of dollars. And I was just like, and he was talking about, doing he was talking about just crazy things that he was doing. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't think that would change me. Wouldn't go on vacation anymore. What I'd probably do is I'd probably fly first class. Like if I made $1 million a year, I probably would buy like a house, like a nicer house. Even though I love I like the place I live right now. We've been there like 3 years. I just don't know that my life would change, because I feel like I've got everything I got more than what I thought I would ever have. So I'm so happy. My big issue is
plus you've already been rich and
I know,
broke.
but even then I don't think I was never bought like a Lamborghini. I never did any of those things, as cocky and arrogant as I am. I never did those things. But that was also because I didn't want people watching me or asking questions or bringing because of course I was wanted and I was doing illegal things. Like I don't want to drive. You can't drive, but you drive a fucking Lamborghini and you're stealing millions of dollars from the bank. Like it's going to catch up with you faster than it already did.
Right.
But I'm saying right now, if I got that, if I legally was making $1 million a year, I just don't know that anything would change for me. I just don't know. I think I would. I probably would. Like I said, I'd probably start flying first class. I'd probably get a personal trainer.
Get nicer cameras for the podcast.
We've got great. I think those cameras we have are we just got really nice cameras.
Right.
We got Blackmagic with the whole Blackmagic setup. We got the switcher, the whole thing.
You get a personal trainer?
I'm saying I probably would get someone that would follow me around nonstop and not let me eat, because that's what it'd take. And he'd have to be a big fucker too, because I'm and I need to lose 20 pounds. And Are
you getting fat?
Yeah, I hide it well, but I'm like over 190.
Are you still on the gas?
Yeah, I am. But I'm not working out. I'm taking tests and I'm not working out.
Right.
Which is stupid.
Why aren't you working out? You used to work out every morning.
I know, bro. I'm so fucking lazy. I don't know what happened. It's horrible. I got comfortable and
Dude, I don't work out enough. I work out maybe 2 days a week now for the last couple months, and I have 3 kids.
Yeah, but you're a full-time mom, right? There's still responsibilities for you?
Are you kidding me, dude? I spend so much goddamn time with my kids, bro.
Are you serious? Ugh.
All morning.
That's horrible.
All morning. I wake up freaking 7 a.m., getting them ready for school, getting them breakfast, getting them lunch for the day, getting them dressed, take them to school, come back, go to work. As soon as I get home from work, they're there. They got to get dinner, bath, teeth brush, ready for bed, play around with them.
I'm not doing all that. That's crazy. You got to get somebody. Where's your wife?
What do you mean? Was someone else to raise my kids?
Get a nanny. They got au pairs. They'll do it just to get room and board in the house.
Dude, no, I'm at least gonna spend as much time as I'm not working. I'm gonna spend some time with my kids, bro. I don't want to have someone else raise my children.
Well, now you're still there. You just get to watch from a distance. You get
then
to
my kids are gonna
come in.
Then
at
my
the last
kids are
minute
gonna grow up to be a fucking financial credit card thief for stealing money from banks, or even worse, letting their best friends fuck their wives, making sex tapes, making porno tapes.
God. What is
I don't want my kids to grow up to be degenerates. I want to be there. I want to be a present father.
I didn't say you weren't there. I'm just saying I'd need some help. There's 3 of them. You're outnumbered.
Look at my wife. My wife carries the majority of the weight.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. You made it sound like you were running.
She picks them up from school. I mean, she makes their lunch pretty much every day. She makes their dinner pretty much every night. But I'm like there helping. We got a baby. It's a lot.
We just got a puppy, a pit bull puppy. That's a problem. That's enough of a problem. We could put him in the cage. He's tearing me up. Look, I'm all scratched up. Listen, because we got a pit bull because, it was questionable whether we were white trash or not. And we said, let's just get the pit bull and let's go ahead and just go all in.
Right.
Let's go ahead and let's make this fine. Let's make this official. Mm-hmm. We're going to get a pit bull puppy.
Yeah.
And, that's one pit bull puppy's a lot. I can't imagine 3 kids. It's insanity. Mm.
Yeah, it
running
is.
around. They're breaking stuff. They're pooping in diapers, or it's a problem. It's too much.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to find time for myself, especially to do workouts. You know, every time I find myself in the gym, it's like, fuck, I got to leave in 10 minutes. Let me see if I can get a quick workout in, or like before I leave here. You know,
You have a gym outside your
right, that's what I'm saying.
office
It's like
now.
if I'm like I'm saying I have to be home at a certain time. I'll
Right.
like, for me, my workouts are like, I got to leave here in 10, 15 minutes. I can squeeze in a quick 10, 15 minute workout before I fucking go home. Like, I don't get to carve out 3 hours, 2 hours of the day to work out.
Well, the nice thing is too, if you're here, you can do arms. That's 15 minutes at most.
Right.
You
That's
do,
what I have to
and
do,
then
yeah.
you do whatever you're doing. You do a podcast. That guy leaves. You knock out, shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do it bits and pieces because the gym's right there. It
Right.
doesn't require me to do anything to do it. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
But I unfortunately don't have.
You
that.
don't even have 3 kids, so what the fuck's your excuse?
It's just I'm lazy, bro. I got lazy all of a sudden. I don't know. I need Andrew Tate to follow me around and yell at me and tell me you're a loser, and do something. I do play his.
You don't look fat. You definitely have lost some muscle though.
You've no idea. Listen, like, we used to, when we'd have sex, I'd turn the lights down for the mood. Now it's just to hide everything. It's,
Okay.
it's horrible. It's
Really?
horrible. Yeah. Like I want to close my eyes during sex. It's not good. I got all kinds of stuff jiggling. All kinds of stuff. I got that arm thing that women get.
Oh yeah.
The bat wing.
How old are you?
Yeah. I'm 56. I got to start working out. I got to lose weight and start working out. I just use all the excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got a podcast. We don't have time for this. Or, oh, I got the.
I use the
didn't
podcast as an excuse to get outside and work out and like eat well. If I before a podcast, I make sure I'm like outside. I do cardio or do like a little workout.
I know. And I need to do all of that. I mean, I absolutely have to start doing that.
Yes, you
Like,
do.
I started a diet yesterday, and then today, it's already gone.
Are you
bad.
still eating the Hungry Man's?
It's already gone bad. Hungry
Lean
man.
cuisines.
Lean cuisines.
Still
Yeah,
eating lean cuisine?
that's all I had yesterday was a lean cuisine and like maybe 8 or 9 olives. And then it was great. And then I wake up and I was like, that's great. And then this morning I woke up and I had maybe 20 olives and some pickle slices.
Do you eat
and
those lean cuisines every day?
yeah, I eat like one. Well, when I'm dieting, I typically I'll try to eat like one meal a day. Maybe a snack, one or two small snack things, something silly. But in a lean cuisine, and then I work out. Maybe I'll eat like a white chicken breast. The can of white chicken breast. You
Yeah.
put a little mayo in there and eat it. I'll do that. But the problem is that then I eat it and I'm like, fuck, that's not enough. Next thing you know, I'm eating all kinds of little stuff, and before you know it, I'm full. And I'm like, did you just fill up on bullshit?
Yeah, that's
you just-
my problem, dude. When I get home from work,
You don't have a problem. I just saw you take your shirt off to put on your elf outfit, and you're chiseled.
yeah, but I have a problem with snack. Like when I get home, I'm like, my kids are like, if they're eating dinner, I'll be like picking little pieces off their plate, or like my wife will have like some chips and salsa laying on the counter, or like my kids are eating Doritos, so there's a bag of Doritos in the kitchen, and I'm just fucking hammering those Doritos while I'm cooking dinner or while I'm whatever I'm doing. Like especially if I'm cooking dinner, I'm snacking like crazy.
It slips up on you.
By the time I'm done cooking, I've eaten half a peanut butter and jelly, a handful of chocolate covered almonds, half of a bag of Doritos, and I'm like, oh God, I feel like dog shit. I don't even have room in my stomach to finish the steak I just cooked. So yeah, that's a problem with my discipline, is just like the snacking. And yeah, even though you can't tell, I can feel it. It's hard. It's hard when you have
Imagine how I
kids.
feel.
You need to start doing your podcast on a treadmill.
Yeah, I need something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back into it. I have to get back into it. I'm too old to get
You're
get
Joe Rogan's
overweight.
age.
Yeah, and look at him. He
looks fucking phenomenal.
right? Like I can't let it go. I can't. And this is another thing I always say to.
He gets in the cold plunge every day and does a sauna and shit every day. He's like hardcore.
Yeah, that's insane. But the problem is like I'll talk to Jess and Colby and stuff. I'm like, listen, like this thing has to, at my age, I don't have a 20-year shelf life, right? Like nobody wants to watch a 60, in 10 years, you're 66 years old. Nobody's watching a 66-year-old do a podcast. Like,
So you gotta look younger.
That's what I'm saying. I got to be at least be in good shape. So people say, oh yeah, this guy's older, but he's in great shape and he takes care of himself. And something that they can say, wow, but at the rate I'm going now, they're going to be, look at this fat fucking old man still trying to do a podcast.
Yeah, bro. You got to take care of yourself.
They'll be like,
how did
this guy get 1 million subscribers? He's so old. That's what they're going to say. He's an old fat man. He's got over 1 million subscribers because I'll be there in a couple months.
Yeah.
But then it's going to dwindle, and then it'll just kind of, I'll hopefully can maintain the 1 million subs, and then all the views go off, and I'm getting Social Security, and I'm living in a single wide with my old puppy.
Bro, you got to balance the work life. You got to have a life too. You can't just be fucking making podcasts 24/7.
I know. But
that's when your health starts to decline.
Half my guests don't show up. Not half, but it is about, we schedule like 6 podcasts, maybe 7 podcasts a week to get 3 or 4 people to show up. They don't make the plane, or somebody dies, or they get sick, or I had a guy the other day that was a nightmare guest, and I should have known this because he was kind of a problem starting off. And by the end of the whole thing, it was, we'd put him up in a hotel that he kind of tricked me into getting, and then we had to get him another room or another hotel.
Tricked you into getting him a hotel.
Yeah, at the last minute, he kind of didn't have the money, and if he could just give him the money,
scam artist,
and it was like, okay, and so we paid for his flight, and then at the last minute, he tried to cancel everything because he wanted his girlfriend to go unless I could pay for her. And I was like, well, I can't pay for her. I'm not paying for her. And then he was like, I was like, somehow or another, I said, okay, I can get you another night at the hotel, but you have to pay for the flight. So he pays for the flight, but he paid for the flight. He pays for the flight with like a credit card that he knows, like a debit card that he knows his account doesn't have money in it. But the ticket goes through and he gets the ticket. And so she gets on the plane and gets the flight there, but then it reverses, and now they canceled the ticket. And so now she's stuck in Tampa. He's like, and I'm not leaving without her. And he's in the hotel room that we got him. So we get him another hotel room because he's like, the next day, everything will be fine because this is going to happen. And the next day, he doesn't get the money he thinks he's going to get. And now he's kind of stuck in Tampa. And I'm going,
that's hilarious.
Like, and I'm sitting there going, this is not my responsibility. Like, none of this was my responsibility. And I only helped him out because he was down on his
person coordinating all this yourself?
Yes, but it wasn't that his stuff didn't work. It was that his girlfriend who he brought with him.
Why don't you hire like somebody to like handle that stuff? Like handle the coordinating flights and hotels and all that
Because
stuff.
all that's going to happen is that person is going to be calling me saying, listen, this guy said this guy said, because that's what's happening. Well, eventually what happened was I gave him, I forget, we sent him like $100 or $200, and I said, bro, don't contact me again. I said, you got nothing else coming. This is your problem. I told you not to bring your fucking girlfriend.
That's the nature of the people that you have on your show, though.
It is.
You have degenerates on your show.
Or you'll get some guy on the show and he's telling his story and and you're sitting there like, I'm looking at Colby, my Steven, and I'm looking at him and he's like, so what the fuck's going on? And the guy's, he's all tweaking out and you're like, oh, this guy's on something. Like what's happening here? And they're nuts, and they'll be like really. Sometimes you'll get a guy, he's really like, he's starting to go down. He's like, hey man, listen, I got to go to the bathroom. And then he comes back from the bathroom. He's like, yeah man, let's go. What's going on? Let's do it. And I'm thinking, what did he find in the bathroom? Like, did he bring something with him in the bathroom? So yeah, some of these guys are or they're argumentative,
doing blow in the bathroom in between takes.
I mean, it's not everybody, but every once in a while, they just, they can't find the fucking place. It's like it's on Google Maps.
My favorite is when people come on the show and mostly they see like the writers, the academic types, like the younger ones. They're coming in, their fucking pupils are like saucers, and it's Adderall.
Oh, okay.
These people are coming in, they're like robots. Yes, and this is like how it works. And they're just explaining it. They're very robot. You can tell the way they act robotic, and their fucking pupils are just giant. You can always tell. Adderall's not good for podcasts.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't think any drugs
when Bubba
good.
came on, he was telling me that he has like a special concoction. He didn't want me to say it, but I said it anyways. He got mad. He's like, for every show he does in the morning, he takes like a little bit of an Adderall and like a weed gummy. And somehow the combination of the Adderall and the marijuana gummy like puts him in some sort of a pocket where he's a little bit loose.
Right.
His mind's working on like another level, but he's also got that Adderall and amphetamine keeping him locked in, like laser focus. He's like, it's like a secret little combo cocktail he uses every day for a show. He's a funny guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
He is
funny.
a fucking wild guy. He just does not stop.
Listen, I had we've been sharing guests, and one,
You have?
yeah, and I forget what was the guest's name. Was there's a guy who did the white. His name was Craig. He did the white van speaker scam. And I had done one, and I thought he was great. And it was probably a 2-hour podcast. And then I said, hey, and I said, Bubba, do you want to do this? This guy's really good. He'd be good for you. And I think Bubba they did like 4 hours or something. I mean, he was like, he said, man, he just kept asking questions and asking. He's like, it went on forever. So he's super inquisitive in his interview. And of course he talks too. So you got an hour, what should be an hour and a half, 2-hour podcast ends up being 4 hours.
Yeah. Bubba was trying to shame me because I don't shave my arms. He's like, why don't you shave your arms? I'm like, I'm not going to why would I shave my arms? He's like, you got to shave you got to shave everything. Shave your legs, shave your arms, shave your body. That's what the women like. And I'm like, no, Bubba, that's not what the women like. He's like, what about your balls? You shave your balls?
I don't want to. I don't want to have this conversation.
I'm like, I trim it. He's like, mine's like a hardwood floor, straight down to nothing, straight to the skin. I wanted to be like, Bubba, you know the kind of people that shave their arms? The kind of people that let their best friend fuck their wives.
Oh my God, you guys are.
I thought about that after the podcast, but I should have said that too. Oh God.
Oh, you guys are brutal. You're the second person I know that said that in the last day or two.
Said what? About shaving your arms?
No.
About Bubba letting Hulk fuck his wife?
Yeah. We went to dinner with them, with Bubba and his girlfriend, and we went and went bowling with them.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Wow.
I think Bubba beat me once or twice. I don't know. I think he might have beat us. And I don't think he's bowled. I think he hadn't bowled in, I forget, 20 years or something. I don't know.
Wow, look at you, Matt Cox.
Yeah, I like going bowling. I'm not great at it, but I like going, and it's fun to hang out with, and Jess likes it. And
Do you ever play ping pong?
No.
I got a ping pong table. You can play some ping pong if you want.
What about foosball? Do you have foosball? What about air hockey?
No.
Foosball? You don't know foosball with the little soccer players?
Yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah.
No, I don't typically play that. I don't go. Typically, those are only like bars. You know.
Yeah.
I got the ping pong table. We're gonna get a pool table.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm no good at pool, but
I'm gonna
I
get a
playing.
golf simulator for that very far thing where you can hit the golf ball in there and you play golf.
And it shows it go.
Yeah. And then we got the half pipe. We can skate.
What is going on? Like you're building a Rob Dyrdek
Fantasy Factory.
Fantasy Factory, but without his TV show.
This is what I've always wanted. I've always wanted a place like this where I could just do all the fun stuff I like. I enjoy.
I would think you would. Well, I don't know. Because I remember when you talked about building the gym, I was like, oh, he's opening a gym. Nah.
No, a personal gym.
Just building one for me. It's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want other people in here using my shit, getting it dirty. People won't take care of it, you know?
Touching my things.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So you've been doing some research. You've been going deep on this Venezuela.
I haven't been going deep on the Venezuela. You told me that's what you said.
I sent you a link about it.
Yeah.
And then you did a deep dive.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know
we're going
anything
to war
about this really.
Trump's going to war with Venezuela.
Yeah, I don't
want to get rid of Maduro.
I don't think he's gonna go to. I think he's just gonna at some point just bomb the living shit out of him. You know.
Well, he's been blowing the boats out of the water.
Yeah, but I don't think. I'm saying I don't think like there'll be probably troops on the ground. I mean, I could be wrong, but I watched a video and that's what they said. They said it was unlikely.
Yeah.
That he would move in troops, but they say because it's not his style. I guess in the last administration and this administration, like he's okay with like shooting, Tomahawk missiles and blowing stuff up and
fishing boats.
Yeah, blowing up stuff and doing strikes and stuff. But he's not really a troops on the ground person. He's trying to just,
If he did do troop boots on the ground, would you support it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Is there anything he could do you wouldn't support?
I mean, sure. I just don't know what it is. You know, I don't know what it is. Because so far, like, I just don't. I just feel like there's so many things that just don't make sense to me, and
none of it makes sense, dude.
That the country does that, like, you know, like you give hundreds of millions of dollars to countries that hate our guts. You know, you let people in that hate this country. You know, there's just all these things that these administrations do that it's like that. Why would you do that? Like, why would you? I love the one that Marco Rubio uses where he says, like, literally we have refugees that like fled, or, you know, immigrants that fled some country because they said they were being persecuted. They get status here, and then they go back the next year 5 or 10 or 15 times on vacation to the same country that they said they're being persecuted from and they had to flee from. It's like, this is ridiculous. Or you worked your whole life and you're making $1,200 on your Social Security, and then some immigrant comes here and they're making $2,500, and it's like, you know, because you're like, you know, these things don't make sense. There's so many things that just don't make sense.
A lot of things. And then Trump just pardoned what was the country that he just pardoned the former president of Honduras. Yeah, who was a huge narco trafficker. He was in business with El Chapo. I mean, he was flooding in hundreds of millions of dollars in cocaine to the United States, and Trump just pardoned him.
And that's another thing is that, like, and then
like, where I don't understand. Right. I don't get it. I'm not smart enough to understand this stuff.
Well, I mean, I understand it because, like, that's not true. So I watched a video on that his lawyer did, and I watched a video
Trump's lawyer?
No, the former Honduras president that was just
Juan Orlando Hernandez.
Right. So, do you know what the evidence against him was? What? There were three.
He was sentenced to 40-something years in prison.
There were 3 traffickers that testified that had already gotten life sentences that testified at his trial that said, I paid him this many millions of dollars to you know, look the other way, or I paid him this much money to launder money. I paid him this much to use airspace or move drugs through. So there's 3 guys that you get that come on the stand, and then there's some documentation that they nobody can tell where the documents come from. Yeah. Nobody in the court, and very few. And they said it was essentially, the lawyer said that was essentially what the case was. 3 people on the stand and some documents that should have never been allowed in, but it was the only thing the government had, and they gave him 45 years. And so there's nothing that shows that he is guilty or anything, but the Biden administration wanted him removed. And now, why would Trump, here's the big question is, but why would Trump, like, is Trump concerned about this guy being railroaded? Right. Maybe not.
Why does Trump care about this guy?
But
why does he give a shit?
Where's Honduras? It's in South America, right?
Right.
And if we do end up going to war with Venezuela, wouldn't it be nice to have one of their neighbors on our side? Do you see what I mean? Like,
sure.
And
you think it's like a chess move?
It is, because in Honduras, the bulk of the population believed that this guy was railroaded. Like, he was railroaded by the Biden administration. So
I see what you're saying.
So he's saying, I pardon him.
Right.
There's an election coming up. So that sways the election to go with the conservative, the people that the administration's backing. And this guy can then possibly go back. Maybe he becomes president. Maybe the new president is, of course, he's not hostile to us, because the current president is, and the guy who's running is hostile to us. So one, you guys think he got railroaded by the United States. Well, guess what? I just pardoned him. And 2, we can always send him back. Not, he can't right now because the current government is hostile to him. But they're having an election, and we're hoping it sways the election, because he's kind of like letting. And it's also a sign to Venezuela saying, look, we can be friends. Like, look what we just did. We let this guy out. This election's about to happen. These guys become the party that we're backing becomes president. Like, we can all be friends, but get rid of the president. What's his name? Maduro.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Get rid of was it Nicolas Maduro? I can never say Maduro. I'm not good with these names.
Yeah.
Nicolas, get rid of your current president, Maduro.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of him. Mm-hmm. We can all be good. You just got to because really he just wants to get rid of him. And also, it's probably about fuel, right? It's probably about gas also.
No, it's not about that. Can't be. It's about drugs. We
Which
don't want drugs in the United States.
I don't have a problem, even if it was. I don't have a problem with it being about gas. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Like, everybody's always like, we're bullying this. We give people too much money. These people hate our guts. We give hundreds of millions, billions of dollars.
The people of those countries hate our guts?
I don't know. I think a lot of them do hate our guts.
Why do you think they hate us?
Well, because the governments push the agenda of that we're horrible, and if you're poor, why? It's because of the United States. Why is it the United States? Oh, the United States. Like everybody in North Korea, they all hate our guts. They love their president. They hate us, and because they're pushing the agenda that America is this evil person and the reason, or this evil empire, and if you don't have anything, they blame it on America. It's sanctions, it's this, it's that, these countries. It's like what they do, and if you help them, as soon as they get here, like all the Muslims that they let in, like the Somalis and all these Muslims that they let in, they come in and they want to change everything, and as soon as they change it, they hate the United States, and they immediately want to, it's going to be Sharia law, and we're gonna build a mosque everywhere, and we're going to pray 5 times a day, and we're going to shut down traffic, and we're going to what is happening? You're turning this into the same shithole country you fled from. They're not smart. I just don't understand why let anybody in. Why give anybody any money until we have no debt, and only give people that support our country? Why? Like, it doesn't make sense. So the things that Trump are doing make sense because I feel like it's for the betterment of our country. We're just going to get, in Ukraine, we're the ones giving all the money to Ukraine. Not all the money, but we give money to Ukraine for the fight.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody else that gives them money, and all the European countries, it's a loan. So you're going to pay them back, but you're not going to pay us back. Mm-hmm. Come on. Like, what are we doing?
Right. I mean, this is the whole thing Trump ran on, was ending these pointless forever wars.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, whenever I'll say stuff about it, I'll go, sometimes he says stupid things. And when I say that, it's not because I don't like Trump. It's because where he's like, I'll have that war. The first day it'll be salt. What? That's stupid. Don't say that. You see, that's whenever I'm, because people will be like, you don't like Trump, or you think he says stupid things. I'm like, that's a stupid thing. Like, come on, man. You don't know you can do it in a day.
The stupidest thing to me is how I just think it's silly how people like to base their whole identity off of a president, off of the current president, or off of off any politician.
Right.
Right. Like, it's so stupid that even that's binary. It's left and right, and people want to their whole character is based on their political figure that they support, whether it be Biden or whether it be Trump or Kamala or whatever.
Yeah, no.
And it's so dumb. And it doesn't matter what those people do. They'll fucking support it.
They'll support anything.
They'll support anything they do.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I don't think I'm that person but I don't know what the policies are yet that I don't support. Does that make, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I hear what you're saying because you were kind of like, is there anything he could do that you wouldn't support? It's like, I'm sure there are. I just haven't had one yet. There's
blowing the fishing boats out of the waters seems weird to me, because I've had a lawyer in here that I'm friends with who he actually represented a guy. I don't know if I've told you this story before. He represented a Colombian guy probably 15 years ago, who was a captain of a cargo ship that was transporting cargo from Colombia to Tampa. And he was hijacked by the cartel. The cartel boarded his ship. Basically, they put a gun in his face and said, "We're going to kill you and your whole family if you don't smuggle these drugs into the port of Tampa."
Right.
So obviously he did it. Got to Tampa, and he got sentenced to he was facing 2 life sentences or whatever. And my friend, the lawyer, represented him for free, pro bono. He was like his appointed lawyer. This is what started his whole career. Got him off scot-free. He walked. And this lawyer let him live in his house during this whole trial.
He was found guilty.
No, he was found innocent. They got him off. But that's the point, is that now he gets hired by heads of cartels and criminal organizations in South America to help them. They pay him tons of money to fly down and meet with them in hotels in some Ritz-Carlton in fucking Mexico City or something like that. And none of these guys ever get in trouble. the guys that are at the top
Yeah.
of these drug organizations,
Right.
these cartels, no one ever touches them. It's the poor people of those countries who are trying to make a buck to feed their families to either manufacture the drugs or smuggle the drugs or drive those fishing boats. Those guys are expendable pawns, right? So what is blowing those boats out of the water going to do? Like
I don't think. Well, one, it is stopping whatever was on there, whatever drugs were on there.
right,
Obviously,
but you're going to blow them up with a fucking $100,000 missile.
It's sending a message. Here's my problem with the only problem I have with that whole, that whole blowing
It
these
seems
boats
like
out.
theater.
I think it is, but Trump is huge on saying shocking things, on doing shocking things, right? Which doesn't seem extremely. Sometimes it doesn't. He doesn't come off polished and presidential. But I can't say.
I think people like that.
But I
though.
like it.
I think
Right. That's what I'm
everybody does.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like, but I like it. Like I get it.
But there's a difference between that and then blowing up fishing boats with poor fishermen on it. They're trying to make
I don't think they're poor fishermen. But I
you don't think they're poor fishermen? You think those are rich people that are driving those fucking boats?
No, I think that they're just people that work for the cartel. I don't think that those are all people that are fishermen. They suck a gun to, because fishermen don't drive those boats anyway. And these are cartel people these are smugglers. These are guys that are captains of boats, and they know they're working for the cartel. Now, are the cartel sticking a gun to their head and saying, "Go, you're going to drive this boat"? Maybe, but we don't know. You don't know that that's what's happening, and I don't know that these aren't guys that are ingrained members of the cartel. So what I'm saying is, my problem with that whole thing is that to me, it's like you are either need to be all in on the cartel, which means all out war in Mexico, in Colombia, in Venezuela, all of them going, like, let's just start knocking them out. Just like you would in Afghanistan and Iraq and Iran and all of those places, do the same thing, or then just keep the status quo. You either do that or you say, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to come up with, look, marijuana is essentially legal. Then we're going to come up with some kind of a version of marijuana. We're going to make it much cheaper than it is, because even if you get a medical marijuana license, I think it's still pretty expensive. That's what I'm told. I don't smoke, but I'm saying that people, because I'm like, well, it's super cheap now. They're like, no, it's not. Like, I know guys that are still buying it, like,
right,
from drug dealers, because it's cheaper from the drug dealer than it is there.
For people
I'm like,
that are growing
you
it themselves.
Serious?
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be down to almost nothing, but apparently it's not. So it's that, and then I do the same thing for basically drugs, for harder core drugs, kind of like Amsterdam, right? But not that. Because there's lots of stuff that's not legal in Amsterdam. But I'm saying,
well, if you legalize it, the cartels wouldn't be able to monetize it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. You just took away their power.
Mm-hmm.
So why not do that? Make it extremely affordable, tax it, and then take the money from the taxes and dump it into rehab, so that, look, if you can do this just like you can drink.
Yeah.
You can drink and it's inexpensive. But if you feel like you have a problem, we have a free rehab. You can go to free rehabs. And we can let a ton of people out of prisons. You could cut the prison population by 80%. Well, let's say 70%.
Yeah.
70%, and we can take that money and dump it in there too. Like, it's one or the other. Go all out and clean these places out, or go completely legit and have the pharmaceutical companies be able to monitor it and set the prices for them, so they don't gouge everybody and keep the cartels in business. You can run the cartels out one of two ways. One is brutal. Are innocent people going to get killed? Absolutely. You start indiscriminately bombing cartel areas, it's going to be bad. Some innocent people, some guy who's trying to feed his family and he's moving stuff for the cartel, is he going to get his house bombed? Yes, it is. That's going to happen. But it's the same thing in Afghanistan. They're bombing, funerals and weddings and any place they think these guys are. And they're saying, hey, you're collateral damage if you invited a terrorist.
If there's a terrorist in a hotel, they're willing to blow up the hotel. Just to get terrorists.
Yeah, they're okay with that. But but we're friends with Mexico. Like, Mexico, like, all of the parties in Mexico are backed by cartels.
Right.
Like, the cartels are ingrained in that. It's an entire cartel. The only reason it's surviving is because if we went in and cleaned it out, we'd have to take over their problems. Like, it would be a massive undertaking. It would cost trillions of dollars, and it's like they're hoping, like, can't we just?
We'd have to take care of whose problems?
If we went into Mexico and said, we're just going to take the country over. because it's so massive. The cartels are everywhere. And so let's say we want, because we have to get rid of the entire infrastructure of the government. We have to start over from scratch. That's the only way to do it. And if you went in and said, this is what we're going to do, then if you did that, then you have to take it over. You have to go in and run. It's a massive country. You'd have to go in, like, could we even possibly do that? Or do you go in slowly, you take over, but you leave everybody in place and you slowly replace those people? And in the meantime, you'd have to basically go get anybody with a fucking tattoo and throw them into prison like they did in, where do they do that? Where they have the massive 100,000 man prison. They scooped up everybody.
Oh, yeah. That's where Jack threw El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you'd have to do in Mexico. But and Americans don't have the stomach for it. So that's why I'm saying it's a half-assed measure to do it. Let's just bomb the boats. But what it's doing is he's trying to send
spectacle.
It's a spectacle. He's trying to send a message. He's trying to get the president or to be overthrown. He's got 100. They have 50 million on this guy's head. That's double what they had on Osama bin Laden. And they've got it's $100 million. It's like him, and then like the guy underneath him's got like 25 million, and then they got another guy who's got 10, one that's got 50. Total, it's $100 million on the upper echelon that's running Venezuela right now. So he's hoping that the military themselves will do the job for him and do some kind of a coup, and let's all get behind the U.S. Let's overthrow this communist government. That's what he's hoping, but it's not working. They're uncomfortable, but I don't know. Do you have to put boots on the ground to do that? Like, Americans, like.
And why do we really want to do it? Because we know it's not about drugs.
It's oil.
We know it's
I
not
think
about
it's
drugs.
oil.
It's about money. It's always
It's got to be about oil, right?
Sure.
And keep in mind too that that Marco Rubio, why can't I say this guy's name?
Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio?
Yes.
Rubio. Gosh. I want to say Marco Rubio, like his parents were from Cuba. He does not like communism. He does not like what's going on there. Like, he would love to eradicate it. And here's the problem. I agree. I don't want communism or socialism anywhere in the hemisphere, really anywhere in the world, but at least in North America, Central America, and South America, and the American continents. I do not want there to be. I don't want them even close. I think you eradicate all of them.
With your tax dollars.
Sure, why not? I mean, gasoline and bombs, and it's cheap. It's not hard to get rid of these guys. I mean,
why not just put that money towards like giving health care to combat veterans or getting homeless people off the streets? I mean, just to walk into like the White House or the Capitol building, you're walking over fucking drug addicts with needles hanging out of their arms. Like, why not clean up the fucking country first instead of worrying about some other country's fucking communist government?
Well, because I think that's what ultimately happens, is that you don't worry about it, and they just keep spreading and spreading and spreading. Before you know it, the enemies are at the gate. Like, before you know it, there's communism has.
Bro, we got nukes. We got nukes.
I understand, but I mean, let's face it. I don't know any. I don't. How many times did Putin threaten to use nukes? Like, nobody's using them. Here's
what Bustamante said about that. Right. Bustamante thinks that there's another nuke detonated. It's going to be by some like rogue group, like maybe a cartel.
Yeah.
I think it's totally possible that cartels could have got some nuke from when the Soviet Union fell, or some like underground black market nuke.
I think it'd have to be. I don't know. I was going to say it'd have to be more sophisticated than the cartel, but to be honest, they have so much money.
The cartels are pretty fucking sophisticated.
And I was going to say, and even if they're not sophisticated, they'll hire someone who's sophisticated.
Well, they already got their hands on like Israeli spyware that they got, like the Mexican government got some sort of like spyware from the Israelis that they're using to like track bad guys, and the cartel is basically paying the cops to get their hands on it. I had a guy come on the show who was showing me how it worked. He got in with a guy at the cartel that was showing him all they have to do is type in your phone number. They can go right into your phone, look through everything on your phone, and find out, geolocate exactly where you are at all times. Like, they got their shit together.
Right.
And they got some of the most high-tech weaponry, drones and shit like that. Who knows if they have a nuke? And if anyone was going to use it, I mean, they're the ones that aren't worried about like fucking mutually assured destruction. Because if they detonated a nuke,
that's part of the problem.
How do you attribute it? How do you attribute it? Like, if they were to like fucking put a nuke in the back of a truck and detonate it, like you don't know. How do you know where it came from?
Well, I mean, first of all, when nuclear weapons go off, they can tell where the uranium came from. They can actually tell exactly where it was mined because it gives off a certain signal.
Right, but it could have been one. It could have been one that came from Russia.
Right.
15,
No,
20
you're right.
years ago.
They could look at. Listen, it could be material that we gave Israel that supposedly during the 6-Day War at one point there was a nuclear weapon that was actually lost. Right, like a broken arrow that was actually lost. That's it's a theory. So
I'm sure there's a lot of them that got lost.
Could you imagine, like the nuke that goes off is actually one of ours? It was actually mined in Utah. And you're like, now what do you do?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they would backtrack the whole thing at some point. And they'd realize, okay, we think that this cartel here got it, and they're sending a message, and they would be like to set it off and not let people know. Back up. This is why this just happened. Is a mistake. Like now you're just blowing it up for what reason? Oh, because we got our hands on it. Like you weren't sending a message. Why did you? So they want to send the message. So you're going to figure out eventually who set it off. That's what I'm just saying. Like just go into Mexico and absorb the entire economy and strip and slowly take over the government and slowly strip all these corrupt people out of it, and you can lock up all the cartel
Turn
members.
Mexico into America.
Yeah, absolutely. Why can't it be? Why can't you add it? It'd probably be about how many states are in Mexico? Mexico's made up of. They're actually made up of states.
Yes.
It's there's like 10 or 12 states.
Oh, that's a good question.
So you'd be adding 12 more states, and take Alberta. Let's take Alberta. They got a bunch of gas too.
Yeah.
Let's take Alberta. Canada can't do anything about it. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, you've got these
31 states, Mexico.
31. Wow. So you'd just be adding 31 states, and you'd have to slowly go into the government and eliminate people, because you can't just fire the whole government, because let's face it, the garbage men will stop picking up the garbage. So you have to go in slowly. The problem is if you absorb Mexico's economy, it would really hurt our economy initially. Ultimately, I think you'd end up basically with what we have right now, which is you'd have kind of like your own, the Mexicans that come over here that work in all the fields that work for essentially slave labor, right? That's what you'd end up having, a whole kind of almost a whole underclass, which is what you have anyway. But I think you'd get rid of.
Well, we like that too. We like having that labor,
right? But I think what happens is you get that, but you would at least be in a position to start eliminating the cartel. And if you made drugs legal here and tax them, then it's like, hey, you could do drugs, and if you have an issue, you can go to a rehab. Like you'd have an influx of money. So that's what I think, and I'm basing this on my vast knowledge of nothing, like just the way I feel, kind of, But look at the whole tariff situation with Trump. They're bringing in tons of money. It's going to bankrupt. It's going to cause inflation. Well, inflation's going down. The job market's going up. We're bringing in trillions of dollars, like it's working. And why not do that? Why not squeeze all these countries out there that hate our guts? They hate our guts. You hate me, and yet I'm giving you money and I'm allowing you to sell your products here. You don't buy any of my products. Right. Like I want manufacturing in the United States. And if you know what? And if some kids in China have to go hungry for that to happen, I'm okay with that, because they're not Americans. They're not concerned about us. Every time they have a natural disaster, we come to your aid. We give you money. We just give them money. They don't have to pay us back. We're ready to help you. Nobody helps us. Nobody's ever given a dime to the Americans. None of these people care about us, but we're supposed to care about them. I don't care about you. I don't.
Right.
I'll care about all of Mexico the moment those 31 states get added to our current 50. And I want Alberta.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? Like you do that, and Puerto Rico, come on, let's either make them a state or kick them loose. But you probably have to really go through, and there has to be some system put in place where it's like, hey, if you get found that you're corrupt. You're a corrupt politician. Listen, I think there should be
corrupt.
I know, but there should be a whole different division of the government, of federal law enforcement that go. The FBI was actually formed to go after corruption. So let's go ahead and have the FBI start systematically going through and looking for corruption and lock these people up, and not 2 years in a club fed camp somewhere. No, you get found guilty of corruption. It's a horrific sentence.
Well, how do you do that when everybody's guilty of corruption, including the people in the FBI?
Yeah, I know it's a problem. It's not a perfect system. I mean, it would take some.
I mean,
it would
everybody's
take time.
taking money from foreign governments. Everyone's taking money from various
the problem
corporate
is
interest
that
groups.
that has to be illegal. And then the statute of limitations can't be like, oh, it's 3 years. Yeah, but that was 5 years ago. No, fuck that. It's 15 or 20 years.
But these are the people that make the laws who are like getting paid and also probably have blackmail on them from foreign countries.
You need a coup.
We're so infiltrated by
you need
other
an
countries.
old-fashioned military coup, and you need to start
Not even
executing people in front of the White House. You line up and start executing. And that's where the system breaks down. Like people don't have is it the Mao quote? Is it Mao, or I think also it's attributed to Lenin, but where it's true political change comes out of the barrel of a gun. Right. Who is it? Mao? I always thought it was. I've heard Lenin. I've heard Mao. Anyway, the point is that that's kind of the problem, and it's so it is like, and I never believed this growing up. But it's so, you would hear about some guy getting found.
It was Mao.
Political
power grows out of the barrel of a gun.
Like growing up, every once in a while, some guy would get convicted of, some politician would get found guilty of corruption, and it'd always be blatant, right? Like when I grew up. And now it's like, it's subtle everywhere. And it's not $5,000. It's, you went in as a senator making $250,000 and you left office 5 years later worth $40 million.
Mm-hmm. You see the latest shit with Marjorie Taylor Greene? Trump basically like forced her out.
Oh, yeah. He's upset with her. I don't even know why.
Because she's going hard on the Epstein files.
Oh, okay. So what is happening with the Epstein? Are they going to release these things?
They said they are. They voted, right? There was a vote 2 weeks ago to do it, and I guess only one person voted against it.
Right.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey were one of the two big people that were pushing to get them released. House of Representatives voted overwhelmingly in favor of releasing the Epstein
427 to 1.
The final tally. Imagine being that one.
Who's that guy?
Imagine being that guy. Who was he? That's a bad look, bro.
Yeah.
I think.
But like here's the funny thing. And I was thinking about this the other day. Like, look at Kash Patel. Right, there's all these podcasts that he was going on before he was the head of the FBI talking about, we got to release the Epstein files. It's so corrupt. We got to do that. Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's the first thing I'm going to do when I get in, right? Him and the other guy, Bongino. The moment he gets in, it's like, right, Epstein was not blackmailing anybody. There are no Epstein files. It was nothing. And then he goes in front of Congress the other day, and they're asking him questions about, I saw a clip. They were asking Kash Patel questions about a specific guy who's a podcaster. They're like, do you know this guy's name? John, whatever his name was. And Kash is like, no, I've never heard of that guy in my life. I don't know who that is.
And then they show him on his
Meanwhile,
podcast.
he's been on the guy's podcast 6 or 7 times.
Oh, okay.
So like,
why would you say that though? Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Once you start lying about stuff, and you have to lie about so many things, it becomes impossible to keep track of all the lies. So it's just easier to lie about everything. Right? Like it becomes such a toll to memorize what's real, or like, what's real, what's not a lie, but what's a lie. But like, you can't remember all the lies that you've already told. So like, maybe it just becomes easier just to fucking lie about everything. And that's how you get exposed, especially in today's day and age with social media and being able to like go back and pull receipts of shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, why lie at all?
You have to. Like, that's the thing. Like, of course he's lying about stuff. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast and said, there's no Epstein files. There's nothing, right? And now they're coming out. And now they're in Congress saying, we got the Epstein files. So what happened? I thought there were no Epstein files a month ago. So it's just like they forget about the lies. They forget about the lies. Now it's the new norm. There are Epstein files. Now we're going to release them. When meanwhile, a month ago, the head of the FBI was saying they didn't fucking exist.
Okay, well, look, the thing about the Epstein, and I agree, like, just release them. But I don't really, like, unless you can say this person flew to the island and had sex with this woman, and they've talked to all these girls. It's not like they're saying, hey, this senator, this guy, like these guys, like they've been interviewed, right? So you're saying those interviews haven't been released? Like, to me, like, one, I believe they should be released, but two, it's like, if some guy was a friend of Epstein, like, I don't care if he was He doesn't. He's a financer. You could have some sex slave in your basement right now. We don't really have basements in Florida, but let's say we did. Let's say you had one. You got a warehouse now. Maybe you've got a room. And you got some sex slave in there, and then there's photograph. You get caught, and they start coming after me. You were on his podcast 12 times. Yeah. It's like I didn't know that he had a dungeon. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you went to lunch with him. So that's what bothers me. It's like, how am I supposed to know that? There's 140 phone calls between you and Danny. It's like, I don't know that side of Danny.
Of course, there's going to be a lot of that collateral damage for people that were, of course, there were lots of people that went to his island that knew him that weren't guilty of anything, right? But there are, like, for example, there was that woman, find out who she was, in that congressional hearing, the black woman, I don't know if she was a senator or a congressman or whatever.
She's receiving.
She was texting him live in the middle of the conference. She's getting texts from Epstein. And the transcripts of them all came out. And he was like trying to dictate, like he was trying to push through some fucking law. These people, the Epstein stuff is exposing like this other dimension that we aren't aware of.
These filthy rich people that are pulling strings.
Exactly. They're pulling strings. It's like we can see on the news the politicians that are running around pulling their strings, doing whatever they do. We think that's the top. We think that's the ceiling. But really, there's a whole nother dimension above all that. And this Epstein stuff is a portal to all that. There was this article that came out, and it was part of the Epstein files that got declassified, where it released emails of Epstein, and he's having conversations with the Ehud Barak, the former prime minister. I think it was the defense minister of Israel, emailing back and forth with Epstein, talking about this country in Africa that was going through a civil war, right? And Epstein's just casually emailing Ehud Barak saying, looks like we could make some money off this. What do you think? It's like, yeah, I think we could monetize this, but it's not going to be easy. Like, this is what these people do. They figure out how to monetize civil wars in fucking third world countries. So, like, those are the people.
You're selling weapons to both sides.
Right. Like, that's the kind of.
It doesn't mean anything.
That's the way the world really works, right?
Well, not at our level.
The government.
Maybe at another level.
Right. The government is just a facade. The government is like, these people control, these people blackmail and fund the people that we think are really in charge. And we're a layer below them. We're just trying to live our lives and make sense of all of it.
I think that that's probably partially true. Like, I still believe there are elections. Do I believe if it's an overwhelming majority where somebody's, wins the election? I don't know that the system is there to sway that election, but you may sway a little bit here, a little bit there. But I think that there's a certain layer that is kind of running things, but I do think they are a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are beholden to probably the ultra rich that are up here. It's I don't know. I think it's like taxes. Like the bulk of taxes are paid by the rich, right? Like they pay a chunk of the taxes,
right?
And some people are just never happy. Like what's the person that's given like the $6.8 billion or something to fund 25 million savings accounts for kids?
Oh, this is the Dell people?
Yes.
I sent you this.
I mean,
find the video of the Dell founder and his wife talking about this savings account thing. She looks like a robot. She looks like she had her eyelids surgically removed. She looks like a ventriloquist dummy puppet.
Okay. But
yeah, I don't know what that was.
I haven't seen the video.
They're sitting next to Trump talking about it.
Oh my God.
Did you see that woman? Oh yeah, there she is. Doesn't she look like his puppet? Like the wooden puppet? What's the name of that guy? Like the Tommy guy. What's the Tommy Guys podcast you do?
She looks like a robot.
Tommy Knightley. Yeah. She's had a lot of work.
So people are saying on Twitter that she's a robot, that his real wife died, and that she's just an AI.
You know what I'm saying? Robot. Like, come on. Like, what are we doing?
So Michael and Susan Dell commit $6.25 billion for investment accounts for kids, and they're giving them all $250. Is that what it is?
Yeah. That's horrible. Well, what's funny is I was reading, other than
these people do you think these people got a bunker?
I think they have a bunker. I think she's had too much Botox, and she's probably kind of like a Stepford wife. She's probably really, really got a lot of. She's on a lot of antidepressants. The look, it's very. it's very kind of fake looking. But I feel bad for women, right? Like some of them, they get so upset when they start getting wrinkles. The next thing you know, they're doing surgery after surgery after surgery and getting injections. And before you know it, you're just like, God, you look like a plastic doll.
She probably knows her husband's fucking a bunch of other young women and getting paid. He's got a revolving door of prostitutes.
I don't know. But here's what kills me. If you read when I read in the comments section, I was reading because I'm less interested in making fun of her, and there were tons of people in there that was saying like, oh, we're saying that these people are wonderful when they're rich people that don't pay their fair taxes, and now they're giving their taxes to rich kids, and we're supposed to think that they're wonderful. And it was just like, they don't have to give anything. Like, these people are doing something, and you're bitching about it. Like, there are people that were bitching about it.
People love to bitch on the internet.
Right. I mean, they love to make fun of people. They don't want to be made fun of, but they love to make fun of people. And then it's like if a rich person does anything, then they attack them. And it's like, I don't have to give you shit. I already paid my taxes on this money, and it's mine. It's like people constantly, if Elon Musk he could do this and he could do this. Go fuck yourself. It's so easy to make money. Go make a fucking $1 trillion, and you can do whatever you want with it. But don't tell me what I can do.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. Like, so you're just nobody is not happy. I don't know why people aren't happy.
People aren't happy, man.
I'm very happy.
A lot of people don't have fucking money. Like this country is like the most amount of money that's made in this country, isn't it? Like Wall Street people and bankers. Like there's no there's no manufacturing. There's no trades anymore. It's YouTubers, bankers, and Uber drivers.
But listen, like when you say nobody's happy, by the way, when I got out of the halfway house and I was living in the rooming house for 18 months, totally happy. I've been happy since listen, if everybody went to jail for 2 or 3 years and got out, they realized like, hey, it's pretty good out here.
How about your boy Bannon?
Things are good.
You still hanging out with your boy Bannon?
No. What happened with Home Title Lock is they kind of, they rotate the spokespeople, right? Like not rotate like they get rid of them. Like I still do stuff for them, but they bring in new people all the time. They try fresh. I can't go on Bannon 4 times a month without people getting tired of Matt Cox. So they brought in a new woman, like some English woman who's like 40 or 50 years old or something like that, and very attractive. And Bannon, they ended up in the rotation. Bannon interviewed her, and he said, "Well, we need to interview her from now on." The old horn dog. And so I don't get interviewed.
He was tight with Epstein. He knew Epstein very
was
well.
he?
Oh yeah.
I bet he never brings that up.
Does he? There's a whole like video documentary that was done on Epstein before he died, where he did all of these long form interviews, and there's like hours of footage of interviews of Epstein that Bannon filmed, and I think it was the day Bannon got fired by Trump during the first campaign. That same day, Bannon drove straight to fucking Manhattan to meet Epstein.
Really? Hey, I have a question.
And Michael Wolff, the guy who
that name.
He did a whole like deep dive investigation into Epstein and interviewed Bannon and a bunch of stuff. And Bannon, there's a interview snippet from that thing he produced where it was a write-up, I think, that he did, where Epstein's brother Mark said that he was on the phone with Jeffrey Epstein, his brother, right before the Hillary Trump election in 2016. And allegedly, I mean, it's Michael Wolff, so take it with a grain of salt. He said that Epstein told his brother, if they knew what I know, they would cancel the whole fucking election. About Hillary and Trump.
Okay. What would that be?
Who knows? I mean, use your imagination. But just like assuming like the levels of blackmail that he knew, because Trump and Epstein were running around together for like 10 years. They were really good friends.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I've seen pictures. I know there's pictures. I know that they were at functions
They
together.
were really tight for like 10 years.
You know what's funny is like, so Epstein gets caught the first time, right? The first time he gets caught, he gets like a sweetheart deal.
Yeah.
Where basically like he slept at the jail. He comes in at 8 o'clock at night, sleeps there, and leaves at 6 in the morning. Like he's really just hanging out. I mean, I if you describe that deal to me and told me that this type of a deal exists, I'd have told you were lying. That's not possible. Nobody would, no court system would bend over that much for anybody, especially for that crime. So I was shocked. So that's shocking, right? The fact, can you imagine the arrogance or that you have to have? So keep in mind, he couldn't get the charges dropped. So it's not absolute power. They said, you have to do something. Like they're like, you've got to do something. We have to say something. You've got to be able to say that you went to prison. We can do, or jail, that we can do this. We can arrange it so it's not so bad for you, but we have to. So it's not 100% power for him. He didn't have everything like, oh, he's got so much stuff. We don't have enough to not get out of that charge, but he did have enough so that it wasn't harmful. But imagine this, the arrogance or at least the confidence that you have to have that you can get out of almost everything is that you do that. You now have that charge and you do it again. You do it again.
He's a sick fuck.
Like, I get it. He's a sick fuck, but it's like, how, like, I like, it is kind of like, what do you have that you feel so, or maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just you're so sick, you're such a perv.
It's a combination of things, right?
Yeah.
Like he's definitely a fucking sicko, pervert, but he's also got a ton of money. He got super rich, coincidentally, right after
Which is weird,
Robert
the way he got rich.
Maxwell died, right? Who was the Pergamon Press guy, who was a triple agent for the Mossad, the KGB, and the MI6, and he died off his yacht, and his wealth probably went to Jeffrey Epstein, because that's right when Jeffrey Epstein got all his money.
Right.
So you have that much money. You're connected to the CIA. You're connected to the Mossad. You're running around doing deals, funding civil wars in different countries with you're emailing Ehud Barak every day. You're fucking flying around with Donald Trump, Bill Gates.
You're texting
all
senators.
These people texting senators.
Getting laws
You probably
passed.
have blackmail on so many powerful people. You have so much goddamn money.
But it wasn't
like
absolute though.
And then but right, it wasn't absolute, but you're flying as high as you can possibly fly when it comes to human beings on this earth. You probably have you probably, when it comes to like the limit of power you can have.
Yeah, you're top shelf.
You're top shelf. Like you can do whatever you fucking want. Pretty much. You can kill whoever you want. You can get whatever fucking prostitute you want. You can get whatever jet mansion you want. You can buy whatever fucking island you want. So like, where does that end? When you like, at some point, I imagine it probably started in like the intelligence world, like just getting intel, getting blackmail, but it probably got more and more wealth, got more and more power, got more and more leverage. Maybe he fucking just got bored. At what point do you have so much control and so much money that you just get bored and just say, I'm gonna fly even closer to the sun and see how much more I can push the boundaries of life,
right,
or whatever.
My perversion.
I
mean, because
whatever it is.
Because at some point, like, he doesn't have enough power or know enough people or have enough blackmail information on people that when they started the investigation, he was able to shut it down. You see what I'm saying? Like, he still ended up getting found guilty.
And he still got
ended up
people
in
like
prison.
Bill Gates to hang out with him after that.
Yeah, that's like, you would think Bill Gates, I don't know. You know what's funny about that? Listen to this. Like, in my mind, it's kind of like, to me, I feel like because obviously the people that come to the White House and meet with the president, like, he doesn't know necessarily these people, right? Like, a lot of these people are his secretary or his vice president, secretary, whatever, his chiefs of staff. All these people are coming and saying, listen, we have a guy, he owns this many factories, they produce this, we're trying to get it, he wants to talk to you about possibly getting a law passed, or whatever it is. And then they come in like, he didn't really know this guy, these people vetted him. I always assume at least somebody's running a criminal background check, right? Mm-hmm. Like, somebody, you're vetting him. Like, I don't know the guy, I'm trusting you, but I'm assuming to get in through the gate, they have to run a criminal background check at some point. Mm-hmm. But like, Frank Amadeo met with George George Bush. Right. Like, I got photos of him in the Roosevelt room with him, like, talking multiple times. There's multiple photos. Like, he's there. He's at the table with him. Like, he was a felon. Mm-hmm. Or I give you another example is Shoot, he was the chairman. He was head of the House of Representatives. What do they fucking call that guy? Newt Gingrich was he was head of Congress. I'm getting so fucking old and it's late. Anyway, what do you call him? The guy who's head of like Congress. He's the
Speaker of the House.
Thank you, Jesus, God Almighty, cut that out. Make me look smart. But yeah, he was
Mike Johnson's the current Speaker of the House now.
Right, but this was Newt Gingrich. This was back in the 80s, right?
Yeah,
He was
right.
king for like 10 years or something. He was Speaker of the House, and so he's got a whole group around him. Like I'm interviewed by him. So for the home title lock,
Oh yeah.
they fly me in.
Yeah.
I go walk in a room. I'm standing there with him. There's clearly bodyguards. There's his handlers, like people that like his assistant and other people that for him. Like he's got an entourage, right?
Yeah.
And there's the CEO or president, I'm not sure what he's called, of Home Title Lock. There's the other people, and I'm in the room with him, and he knows he's meeting with me. Mm-hmm. I shake his hand, we talk, and as we're talking, they introduce me and they explain that Mr. Cox did 13 years in federal prison for fraud and this and this and this. And he kind of glances over, and you can see all these guys kind of glance. There's a quick glance between all of them. And I remember thinking to myself, like, he didn't know. He knew he was going to meet with someone, right? They knew I was coming. They knew somebody was coming, but he didn't really know. But at some point, you would have think that I've got a felony conviction and I'm shaking hands with this guy. Wouldn't someone have checked? Wouldn't someone have been watching out that I can get this close to this person? Like in general, if Bill Gates is meeting with someone, he can't say, well, I didn't know that. You had to know.
Right.
You have people that, so I think that they would do that, but I guess it doesn't always happen. Right. So I would think that, does that make sense? Like, I feel like they should, and I definitely feel like Bill Gates should,
right? Or
Zuckerberg. I would think that anybody they meet with, they would.
Well, you think like, look, they're going to this, like he's hanging out with Bill Clinton all the time. Like, of course I'm going to go ahead. Like, that's enough of a vetting. Like, if this guy's hanging out with Bill Clinton and fucking whoever, all the other celebrities and Harvard scientists that were flying to his island, like legitimate people. Like, it's kind of like diffusion of responsibility. Like, if all these people are going, what's it going to hurt for me to go?
I know, but to me, I don't know.
But you're right. Bill Gates, there's no excuse for Bill Gates.
Yeah, there's no, what's funny?
Bill Gates was also going through like a problem with his wife at the time.
I mean, I get it, but I'm not going to hang out with a file. So
maybe Bill Gates was fucking.
Maybe that's possible. Shit, I forgot what I was going to say. I jumped all over the place. I just immediately.
Epstein, it's speculated that Epstein was like super into, him and Ghislaine were really into like UFOs and trying to find Atlantis and stuff like that. Like they had scientists coming in there, like anti-gravity scientists,
right?
People coming in there trying to figure out like some of this technology stuff, this like black budget technology stuff that like everyone's like in mainstream media today, which is really weird. Ghislaine was like, when she was young, she was interested in like oceanography, and like she wanted to be a marine biologist, and she even met with Jacques Cousteau and was hanging out with Jacques Cousteau's daughter. She had a submarine called the Atlantis submarine, and her and Epstein would go down in the submarine looking for like lost ruins of like ancient civilizations. They went to Cuba to meet with Castro to get permission to go study these ancient ruins off the coast of Castro and their Atlantis submarine. Like they were looking for fucking Atlantis, shit like that. Some weird they were into some like esoteric stuff. He was even into like witchcraft. He threatened, I think it was the writer of the Vanity Fair article, that he was going to do like voodoo on her if she wrote the article. These people are into some like wild shit.
Insanity.
We need the UFOs to come down and save us from all this shit, Matt Cox.
I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I'm sure.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do if the government comes out and says aliens are real? They've been living here the whole time. They're a breakaway civilization. They're time travelers. They're us from the future.
I would like to think that they're. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good thing to say either or think. I was going to say,
did a
I'd like
deal
to
with
see
them.
they're as confused as us, but I don't think they are. I think they probably have a much better idea of what's going on. But I could be wrong.
They're like gods.
Who knows? Well, I mean, what is that quote that even a slightly advanced technology appears to be magic too?
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't take much for something to look for. You know, for them it's science. It's science, and for us it's like you know, it's magic. Like, oh, how did that happen? Like, pfft, I told you that the first time my boss printed something. The guy I was working for at the time in the halfway house printed out something off of his phone and printed it off using the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That was fucking like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I printed it. It's over there. I'm like, you didn't print anything. He's like, yeah, I did. Just it's over there. It's on the printer.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just printed it. I'm like, you were standing right here. What are you talking? Like, I got up. I was getting irritated. Like he's fucking with me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know what Wi-Fi was. I don't know what that is. They didn't have that in prison. But yeah, I just think that it's boy, the world's bizarre. What are we talking about?
I think we're taking it home right now, Matt.
Are we?
We're going to bring it home.
Okay, well, how long have we been talking?
We've been talking for 2.5 hours.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Bro. What are we going to do about Steven's hair? Steven needs a camera, but he does have to comb the hair. He has to get the hair under control. And then he can be on camera.
What kind of haircut should he get? You think you should make it high and tight, get him a flat top?
I think he just needs some product. You know, you rub in your hand, and when he gets out of the shower, he slicks it back. He can slick it. He just put it in
He's
a man
got a good
bun.
hairline. I mean, he's got nothing to hide.
He could pull off a man bun. Not
A
everybody
man
can.
bun? No, don't do the fucking man bun.
I know, but look at his hair. It's long. He doesn't want to cut his hair. He clearly has.
At least he doesn't. At least he doesn't smell.
He has an aversion to getting his hair.
At least
cut.
he takes showers.
Yeah. What? Well, why wouldn't
Some
he take a
people
shower?
are into the scruffy hair, man.
Well, yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you're going to get on camera,
a lot of people that have
get on
hair.
camera.
Most people that have hair like Steven, you can smell them from a mile away.
No,
At
they're
least
homeless. So, but you know, I mean, you know, but he's not homeless.
Right.
He makes a good living.
Yeah, he takes care of himself. He grew.
He's just
groomed.
tired. He gets out of. I feel like
He's got kids, man. He's got a lot of responsibilities.
I know. I feel like Steven rolls out of bed and stumbles, you know, rubs his eyes and stumbles into the car and drives straight here. And when he's walking in, he's still wearing like his slippers and you've been to the have you been to the movies lately?
Movie theater?
I
have not.
Yeah, listen, I mean, people walk in there, they're in their pajamas. They bring in pillows.
What are you going to do? What are you supposed to fucking wear a suit to the fucking movie theater?
Well, no, but you're wearing slippers, your pajamas, and you're bringing a pillow, and you're curling up in the seat and what? It's like, I don't know, like they're wearing, like at least wear maybe a sweatsuit.
I don't like going. I mean, it's fun going to the movie. Like the last movie I went to, I took my kid to like a movie because to give him the experience. But yeah, it's nostalgic to go to movie theaters, but I do it maybe once every 2 years.
Sheesh. Well, there's really just not great movies.
Well, that movie that you showed us
looks great.
The Hail Mary,
yeah,
that looks fantastic.
Or is it? I think it's 2026. Is it going to be 2026 where the next Dune comes out?
Oh,
I have no idea.
I love Dune.
Yeah,
I think it's 2026.
Your background was inspired by Dune.
I know. It's trying to think what did they call him too? I've seen it 30 times.
Do you think the set's better than the spaceship?
Yeah, I don't know about the stained glass. I would have.
You don't
thought
like
you
the stained glass?
Only
That's
because
my favorite part.
I would have thought that you would have, like, to me when I first walked in, just because of these things, I actually first thought of Egyptian. I thought like, but the stained glass is an Egyptian. Or is it just kind of a collection of different types of, like, did you have one look you were going for? Because to me, this says like Middle.
It was a bunch of looks we tried to combine together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this is like a medieval castle.
Yes.
Look.
Yes, it's medieval stone. It looks Egyptian, but
is definitely
it's cathedral style.
This definitely feels Dune. You're right.
Yes, it does. Yeah, that was definitely a big inspiration. Like the colors and the light shafts are Dune inspired. That's cathedral, obviously, and this is just. Every shot is unique. It's not all the same.
The table's great. The table makes me very jealous.
I love this fucking table.
Who made the table?
I don't know. My contractor had a wood guy who made the table.
I might need him. The only reason I say this is because my table I bought for $60. It was on OfferUp. Mm-hmm. Somebody had it was like somebody was selling the table. They had lost the bolts, for the legs. So I got it for $60 because they lost the bolts.
Yeah.
So, and I pick it up and, it flipped out, but it wasn't quite long enough. So I ended up eventually I altered it so it was more secure.
Mm-hmm.
It's super secure, but it is IKEA. And it's got water damage, and people put their drinks on it, and so
we'll get this guy to make you. We'll get this guy to make you.
Right, I don't need a whole table. I just need a
veneer.
A thicker than that, huh?
You just need like a small.
No. I just need a new top like this. This is amazing.
Stop being so cheap. Just get a new table,
or maybe just make a whole new table. Yeah. But I like my dimensions. That's my only problem. I like the dimensions.
I love this because this is wider than my previous. Can you tell?
Yeah,
it's wider than my old.
Not much. A little bit,
like
right?
6 inches wider.
Oh well, 6 inches makes a lot of difference from what I've been told many times. I think that my table, I like the dimensions of my table. It would be identical, but it would be like this because this is a great table.
Mm-hmm. It's white oak.
Well, I wouldn't want it white oak. I think I'd want him to stain it because I've got a dark kind of mahogany thing going.
Yeah.
But this guy could obviously do anything.
Yeah.
Although look at these legs.
Do you see the logo on the front? Look.
Is that what it is? It's a logo?
That's my logo.
Oh, yeah.
Stainless steel.
See, you went all in. Here's the thing. I actually had a guy on the podcast who had offered he did ironwork. He had offered to make me a whole table, which I had said.
Like prison bar style, like a prison table?
No, I was just wanting the same thing I had. Oh. But I had just kind of finished my table. This was like 2 years ago. I was like, no. I was like, I'm good. And he's like, bro, I'm offering it. He said, it's free. I'll do it for free. Like, just because I watch your stuff all the time. And I'd had him on the program. And he's like, I'll even put like your logo in the front if you want. And I was like, no, I like it. It's simple.
Your theme is true crime.
Yes.
Why don't you make it look like this fucking jail cell?
Because I like my look. It's simple. It's very simple. I'm not trying to do anything cheesy. I want a simple, clean.
Right.
I just want a new table. I tried to look up this guy. I tried to call him because I had him on the program. He had a video. He got decent numbers, right? Like 2 years ago, he got like 40 or 50,000. It was good. Mm-hmm. His phone number's like I've texted him 2 or 3 times. It doesn't go through. Like I've called it. It's I don't know what happened to him. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to get in touch with him. So I don't know what happened to him. Like he's a guy who like committed a bunch of crimes, drugs. Drug addict, everything, goes to prison, gets out, started his life over. He was making great money, and suddenly he just kind of disappeared. So I was going to try and go to him and say, "Hey, look, I will take that table," because it was stupid for me to say no. But I hate to ask people for stuff, right? Yeah. You ever get like that? And now I'm in a position where I was like, I could have asked him to do it, and I could say, "Hey," and I'll pay you. But I'd like to have this guy do it. Like I can do woodwork, but this is great. I can't do this, and I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to get to it.
You're doing great, Matt. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Thanks again, man. This has been a super fun conversation. Our once a year Christmas special. It's been a blast. Matt Cox, True Crime. I don't need to plug you. You're fucking bigger than me now. I don't need to plug your website. Fuck
Listen,
you.
I'm 3 months away. We are literally, if we stay currently where we're at, by the end of February, mid to end of February,
1 million subscribers.
We should be at 1 million subscribers because we're like 860 something now.
I love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah.
And have a good night, right? How does it go? Merry Christmas to all.
And to all a good night.
To all a good night. Thank you, and to all a good night.
Good night, everybody.